If you've ever watched Colin Cowherd deal with nose issues while still going on and doing his show, that tells me I made the right decision. But also, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Benzinga's Pre-Market Playbook. Today is going to be the Thursday, November 6th edition. We also have Futures Forward here today, but we're going to cover some news. We're going to go over some of the earnings reports, and then we're going to trade today's market. We're going to get one day closer to the weekend here. We are going to have some fun. There's another all access here today, so we got a full slate here for you today. Hope everyone is rested is what I meant to say, and refreshed. Benzinga's pre-market playbook for Thursday, November 6th, 2025 begins right now. Good morning and welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a wonderful Wednesday evening. Blackhawks got another win, so I woke up today with extra pep in my step, as you might imagine. And it's true. The other day I did watch, flipped on Colin Cowherd's show, and he was out there with a nose issue. He actually had a box of Kleenex at his desk. He was actually blowing his nose while the camera was on him. And I was like, man, if this is okay, I really need to stop worrying about it on my own show. So that was good to see. But props to fighting through a minor inconvenience like that, because the show must go on. Richard Judge is first here today. Judge, that's two in a row. Judge getting up early and getting it done. Absolutely love it. Good to see you again, boss. Brian, good morning. Welcome back. It's good to see you as always. Oscar Gaming Boy 200. That sounds like almost like a video game system, Oscar. Good morning. Welcome back. Let's make bank. I love it. I love it. I think you have the right attitude here today. Victor says, good afternoon from Africa. Welcome, Victor. That is awesome. We have viewers from Africa as well. Absolutely amazing. It's morning over here, so I'm going to say good morning / good afternoon to you. Welcome. Hopefully you enjoy yourself. Yes, that girl. Good morning. Welcome back. Sam, good morning. Welcome back. Ezrar, good morning. Welcome back. Brian says ETH, Ethereum down 30% in the last month is wild. Digital asset treasuries are shaky ground. Facts, buddy. You're absolutely right about that. I've been trying to trade Ethereum too, and it's not been terribly easy. I'll say that. But we have seen crypto really move, especially towards the end of the year. So even if it's not working right now, at minimum, probably put that on the back burner, because there's likely going to be another setup for us at some point. Solitary Soldier, good morning. Welcome back. Peter, it's good to see you again, man. Welcome back. Big Bear Hug, welcome back. Bill, good morning. Welcome back. Sun-Kissed Yogi, good morning. Welcome back as always. Big Dave, welcome back. Smart Bots, hopefully you're not a bot, but good morning. Welcome back. Live to trade and trade to live. Absolutely love it. I think that's a good life motto. Good morning. Welcome back. Robert, good morning. It's good to see you again. Corey, good morning. Billy, good morning. Neville, good morning. Harvey, good morning. Viet Chu, good morning. God bless you. Whis, good morning. Welcome back. Tom, good morning. Good morning to the most productive group on YouTube. Yo, smash up the like for Tom's comment here. I completely agree. Literally like the highlight of my day every single day, unless one of my sports teams wins, LOL. But really good stuff. Be sure to smash up the like. Day Trader, good morning. Welcome back. Bernhard, good morning. Welcome back. The producers locked in as always. Marty, it's good to see you again. Just passing through. Good to see you again. Kelly, good morning. Dara, good morning. Lambo Rolls, what's going on, dude? Welcome back. Johnny, good morning. It's good to see you again. Darkside Hemi, good morning. Durkus, Matthew, and Arhan, good morning. Cam, Buffalo by Bicycle, and Lilith, good morning. Michelle, or Blessed, good morning. I do hope we have a winning day. We're winning because we're all here and we're breathing again. Michael, good morning. It's good to see you again. Black Wolf, good morning. Zach, welcome back. Rooster, welcome back. JJ, welcome back. Cam, Edward, and Philip, welcome back. Big B's, good to see you again. Robot, Ari Stock Market, and Russ, welcome back. Linda, good morning. Welcome back. G-Cord, good morning. Welcome back. Kenneth, Shauna, Boogie, good morning. And Futuristic Person, good morning. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and get rolling here. Let's start with our stock market today. All Oops, got to share my screen there. Sorry, producer. All right, futures slightly in the green and up off the lows here this morning. S&P futures up 0.16%, Dow futures up 0.06%, and the NASDAQ futures up 0.15%. Notably, these traded lower after the close yesterday, and then actually at the opening of the pre-market from the overnight session, it moved a little bit lower, but has reversed and actually gone into the green. So we'll see how long it stays in the green or if we actually get a bit of a sell-off here today. Let's take a look at some cues from last session here. Sectors recording the biggest gains on Wednesday included communication services, consumer discretionary, and materials, which led most S&P 500 segments to close on the positive side. Bucking the overall market trend, however, were consumer staples and information technology, which is an interesting dichotomy. Both of those closed the session lower. U.S. stock futures, as I mentioned, fell on Thursday morning early after the positive close on Wednesday, but have since turned green. So again, we'll see if that keeps up here. This followed doubts raised by the U.S. Supreme Court regarding President Trump's authority to impose sweeping tariffs using a decades-old emergency powers law on Wednesday. I listened. I mean, I put it on C-SPAN, so I guess I tried to watch, but they don't allow video recording for these Supreme Court things, so they just had pictures. I listened to some of it. I listened to some of the arguments, and I was trying to determine. I know Polymarket and Kalshi have like a probability on what people think is going to happen. I was trying to listen to cues from that, and I don't know that I have one. There's definitely some in the positive column, some in the negative column, but I just don't think there's enough information there for us to say confidently what's going to end up happening from that. I think that we're likely to get the results of this probably sometime next year. I know there was some talk about expediting that as well. I'm just not sure when we're actually going to get that. But I did tune in a little bit to that. Was not enough for me to make a decision on a trade. I didn't gain enough conviction from any new information that I heard to make a trade on it. If you did, or you're preparing for that, I am interested. The 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.14%, and the 2-year bond was at 3.61%. We do have some stocks in focus today, and the first one here is going to be Airbnb. They rose 0.041% in the pre-market on Thursday, ahead of its earnings scheduled to be released after the closing bell. Really quickly, here's the earnings calendar. Airbnb, probably the biggest one here today. I think that's going to be bigger than any of the other reports. Monster is also on there. Texas Roadhouse is also on there. And MP Materials is also on there. But I suspect that it's going to be Airbnb that has the biggest reaction. They're scheduled to release after the closing bell, and analysts expect it to report $2.34 per share on revenue of $4.08 billion. Apple is our second stock on the list here today. It fell 0.27% after the news that it was finalizing a deal to pay Alphabet about $1 billion yearly for AI technology to rebuild Siri, using the partnership as a temporary fix until 2026. I'd like to get your opinion on whether or not this is good or bad. I guess the overall, it's going to depend on what Siri can do and how much of an upgrade it actually is. But let's discuss that here. Marvell is the third stock on the list. And this is victory lap inducing for our group here in the morning. Remember, we talked about some semiconductors that really haven't made a big run yet. We used Benzinga Pro to come up with a scan for those. And Marvell was one of the ones at the top of the list. Now, here we go. Marvell soared 8.55% as Bloomberg reported that SoftBank Group explored a potential takeover of the U.S. chipmaker earlier this year. This was to effectively supercharge ARM, ARM Holdings, ticker ARM. So interesting news here. Marvell trading up on that. Big time shout out to all of us for kind of looking for semiconductors that haven't run yet and using the tool to find that. Nice big winner here. Coherent is going to be the next stock on our list. That's ticker COHR. They climbed 14.3% after it reported revenue of $1.58 billion, which was up 17% year over year, and earnings of EPS of 1.16 compared to the 67-cent estimate in the same quarter of the previous fiscal year. So another big move there. AppLovin, a show favorite here. AppLovin, ticker APP, jumped 6.17% after reporting revenue of $1.41 billion. That missed the analyst estimates of reporting revenue of 1.41 billion, missing analyst estimates of 1.34 billion, and earnings per share of, okay, this is backwards. The 1.41 billion beat the analyst estimate of 1.34 billion, but the 245 per share, actually 245 per share beat the 241 per share. Sorry about the mistake there, producer. If you could look into that, that's wild. That's absolutely wild. All right, that's it here for the stock market today. All right, let's take a look at the SPY chart here. This is where we sit, and so far, the 20-day moving average held. We've been talking about the 20-day moving average for what feels like months now, and still, this moving average has provided some support for a declining SPY. Now, we did not actually test it in the regular session. We did trade beneath it in the after-hour session last night, but again, we were up, the night before, but we had a strong day yesterday. So we didn't actually, the candles don't look like it printed because it didn't hit it in the regular session, but indeed, it actually peaked below this level in the extended sessions. As far as where we go next here, I still have a trend line drawn from some of the recent activity when the SPY reversed. And I got to think that that's going to be on deck here today. Just kind of estimating this, I've got it at 683 and a quarter. We're currently sitting at 678.86 in the pre-market. So really not that far away, especially if we have any type of strength here today. So definitely going to be looking at that as a key level. If we reverse or sell off at all here, I'm also going to be looking at 673.22 as a support level. And then right beneath that, about a quarter beneath that, just a little bit less than that, is the previous all-time high breakout level of 672.99 or 673, if you want to abbreviate that. It is worth noting that we have the 50-day moving average down there at 664.85. I'm not sure we're going to visit that at all here today. But I guess we'll see how that shakes out. All right, let's take a look at some insights from analysts here. Sean Pesci, founder of Ranmore Fund Management, views the current stock market as dangerously overvalued, drawing direct parallels between the present-day AI hype and Japan's late 1980 valuation bubble. Nice to hear something other than the tech bubble or global financial crisis, but the same thing is being said here. Overvalued, extended, and then comparing it to another historical huge market event. He points to lofty valuations and a sense of euphoria driven by the overwhelming dominance of U.S. tech. Now, I would push back a little bit on the sense of euphoria. Maybe it's because I'm with such a great, intelligent group like you folks here, because we are constantly having discussions about what's wrong, moves down, negative catalysts. I don't necessarily detect a ton of euphoria amongst our group, but maybe we're just ahead of the curve. Pesci challenges traditional metrics, arguing that the Magnificent Seven's high capital expenditures make net income a misleading measure. He calculates the group trades at 58 times free cash flow, which is his preferred metric. This valuation worsens significantly when adjusting for stock-based compensation, which he calls a real cost to shareholders, rising to 77 times free cash flow. While the catalyst for a correction is unknown, Pesci warns that history shows the odds are stacked against investors at this level. Quote, history has repeatedly shown that the odds of generating attractive real returns over the medium to long term are not on your side when you pay high valuations, end quote. He suggests investors should consider their heavy reliance on the U.S. market. Now, I like that too, because I've brought Tim Melvin on here a number of times, and a number of times he has discussed how a correctly diversified portfolio looks outside of the United States, even if the United States is dominant. So nice to see a couple of stars lining up there. All right. Let's talk a little bit about some of the earnings here. I'm going to go back to the chart, and we're going to start with AppLovin, because this has been a popular stock amongst our group. I know that this has actually made a lot of money for a lot of our group members here, which makes me extremely happy. AppLovin here up 8%. Shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results and issued Q4 sales guidance above estimates. We're going to dive into that here pretty soon. Looking at the chart here, again, up about 8%, currently sitting at 665. So we are it looks like we're trying to break out And furthermore, it looks like we've really done a good job holding both the 20 and the 50, which we tested, peaked below, held, and now reversed with the earnings catalyst. So if you're negative, perhaps we're looking for a gap fill back down to these moving averages. And if you're bullish, I got to think you're looking for a move to and through 700. All-time high here. Let me get you that exact value. All-time high on app is 745.61. That's 80 points higher than where we're at right now. So if this strength is going to carry through for multiple days here on the back of this catalyst, and we're going to challenge some of those all-time highs, got some pretty good space here for app. For those of you that trade this all the time, very curious to see if you have a new trade on it. And if you have an existing trade on it, how are you managing that trade? What are you planning to do with that? Let's take a look at the report itself here. AppLovin reported third quarter revenue of $1.41 billion, which, why does it say it's missing the analyst estimate of $1.34 billion? Let me look into that because maybe there's something that I'm missing there. The advertising company reported third quarter earnings of $2.45 per share, which beat the estimate of $2.41 per share. Total revenue was up 68% on a year-over-year basis, and cash flow from operations and free cash flow both came in at $105 billion for the quarter. AppLovin repurchased $571 million of its common stock during the quarter and ended the period with approximately $1.67 billion in cash and cash equivalents. The company's board also authorized, a share buyback program by an incremental $3.2 billion, bringing the total authorization up to $3.3 billion as of the end of October. AppLovin expects its fourth quarter revenue to be in the range of $1.57 billion to $1.6 billion versus the estimate of $1.55 billion. The company anticipates fourth quarter adjusted EBITDA of $1.29 billion to $1.32 billion. So let me know on app. Again, I know that that's been kind of a big one here for us. Really curious to see if anyone else is making a new trade on this or if we're just closing up some existing trades. Next stock I want to talk about here is Qualcomm. We had a good discussion on Qualcomm yesterday in Happy Hour. Several folks wanting to know if Qualcomm is ready to make another run. Remember, we recently had an impulse move up to this trend line, which originates a long time ago. This was a very, very long-term trend line. Let's go to a monthly chart here. Yeah, this originated back in 1999. Party like it's 1999. Good Lord. So we came up to that level there. And let me actually get you the value for that estimate. We tested this at about 206.60. We pulled back here, held some of these levels. Now it looks like we're trying to reverse. So I think the thought here is can we trade back up towards that 207.5, which would be a retest of this trend line. Once we break above that, we actually have another target from a steeper trend line that we can kind of go after. But this is what the Qualcomm chart looks like here. It does look like it's trying to move off of this level. We'll see if it gets any help with that. Technology company Qualcomm reported fourth quarter earnings results on Wednesday after the market closed, and here are some of your highlights. They reported fourth quarter revenue of $11.27 billion, which was up 10% year over year. The revenue beat a street consensus of $10.79 billion. That was according to Benzinga Pro. The company reported adjusted earnings per share of $3, which beat the street consensus estimate of $2.88. This marked the 10th straight earnings per share beat and 9th straight revenue beat by the company compared to its consensus estimates. This company is absolutely in the habit of beating those estimates. Qualcomm's fourth quarter revenue was split as $9.82 billion for QCT and $1.41 billion for QTL, up 13% year over year and down 7% year over year, respectively. The QTC revenue by segment, handsets were $6.96 billion. That's plus 14% year over year. Automotive was $1.05 billion, plus 17%. Internet of Things was $1.1 billion. That's plus 7%. And full year revenue was $44.14 billion for the company, which was up 13% year over year. Full year adjusted earnings per share were $10.22. That was up 18% year over year. Quote, our business remains strong as demonstrated by record QCT revenue for fiscal 2025. Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon said, quote, we delivered 18% year-over-year growth in total QCT non-Apple revenues, with combined fiscal year automotive and Internet of Things revenue growth of 27%. We are excited about our business momentum, the availability of our automated driving stack, and our expansion into data centers and advanced robotics. Qualcomm announced a non-cash tax charge of $5.7 billion in the fourth quarter to establish a valuation allowance against U.S. federal deferred tax assets. The charge was excluded from non-GAAP results in the quarter. The company expects its effective tax rate to remain in the range of 13 to 14% in relation to the enactment of the One Big Beautiful Bill. Without making the change, Qualcomm said its tax rate would have gone up, opting to make a short-term charge for long-term predictability. The move will result in lower cash taxes and more predictable tax rates in the future, helping cash flow and the ability to invest cash. So keep me posted here on Qualcomm. This has also kind of been one of the big AI names. Have some pretty good gains in this too. Let me know if you have any trades on this. We're definitely going to ask David about this stock as well when we bring him on here. Next story here, just kind of diving into QCOM a little bit more. Cristiano Aman said the company entered into an AI data center market as the next chapter of its diversification strategy, calling it a potential multi-billion-dollar revenue opportunity. During a stellar fourth quarter earnings call, Aman confirmed Qualcomm is accelerating its data center plans, now expecting material revenue to begin in fiscal 2027, a full year earlier than previously projected. The company named Humain, Humain, as its first customer for its new AI 200 and AI 250 inference accelerators. Quote, "We're very excited. I think it's the next chapter of changing the company, diversifying the company, and expanding our IP." That came from Aman. Aman emphasized that Qualcomm is focused on growing need for power-efficient AI inference, which handles the workload of running AI applications rather than just training them. Quote, "It's clear the market wants competition for this," end quote. Outlining Qualcomm's right to win. "I think it's all going to be about generating the most amount of tokens with the least amount of power, and that's our right to play." Aman later quantified the new venture's high-stakes potential. "Success in this area, I think, presents us to a potential multi-billion-dollar revenue opportunity for a couple of years." And as mentioned, this was the 10th consecutive beat. The announcement came as Qualcomm reported fourth quarter revenue, and earnings that sailed past Wall Street estimates, earning it that 10th consecutive beat. This ambitious expansion is supported by robust health in its existing businesses. The company reported revenue of $11.3 billion and non-GAAP EPS of $3, which easily beat its consensus. The QCT division, which includes chips, saw record automotive revenue surpassing $1 billion for the first time. The company also issued record high guidance for the first quarter, signaling strong momentum. Qualcomm guided for first quarter revenue between $11.8 and $12.6 billion, with an EPS of $3.30 to $3.50, both significantly above analyst expectations. So again, with Qualcomm, would love to hear any trade ideas that you have on this. Last one here that I want to cover really quick is going to be Robinhood. Actually, you know what we should do is probably go back to Pro here, start with the chart like we have on some of these others, and then dive into the actual news itself. Here's what your hood chart looks like, basically flat here this morning. If we peek inside, we can get an idea of what took place yesterday. Stock had a really strong day along with the rest of the market, sold off right after the earnings report, and then pretty much got bought back up, and here we are at unchanged, right ahead of the open. If we go back to the daily chart here, it does kind of look toppy. If we extend this trend line a little bit and connect it to that other high there, you can see we're actually butting up against that trend line here. We'll see what direction Robinhood takes here today. If any of you are looking to trade Robinhood today, I'd be curious to know what direction. I think if you're going to trade it short here and the market shows any weakness, be kind of interested in that. We'll see if this ends up shaking out. Let's take a look at the actual report itself. Here are some of the highlights from said report. Robinhood reported third quarter revenue of $1.27 billion. That was up 100% year over year. The total revenue beat a street consensus estimate of $1.19 billion. That's according to. This also marked a company quarterly record for revenue. Transaction-based revenue was $730 million for the quarter. That was up 129% year over year. The transaction-based revenue segments and their growth are as follows. Cryptocurrency revenue, $268 million. That's up 300% year over year. Options revenue, $304 million. That's up 50% year over year. And equities revenue, $86 million. That's up 132% year over year. The company reported quarterly earnings per share of 61 cents, beating the street consensus estimate of 48 cents. Net deposits were $20 billion in the quarter, a new record. The company said its Robinhood Gold subscribers hit a record 3.9 million in the quarter. We talked a little bit about this on Happy Hour. It's apparently not expensive. I don't know. I don't have it, full disclosure, but several of the folks did, and they were saying that, A, it's not expensive. Pretty much anyone can get it, and it does kind of unlock some other things. Some of them are helpful. Others maybe not so much, like the Sage home loans, which we covered. Funded customers hit 26.8 million at the end of the quarter. That was up 10% year over year, with 27.9 million investment accounts up 11% year over year. Company's average revenue per user grew by 82% year over year to $191 in the quarter. And you can tell here with these growth numbers, they're obviously trying to fold in as much as they can and continue to ramp that revenue. Some of these year over year gains just absolutely eye-popping. Absolutely eye-popping. Quote, our team's relentless product velocity drove record business results in Q3, and we're not slowing down. Prediction markets are growing rapidly. Robinhood Banking is starting to roll out, and Robinhood Ventures is coming. That came from CEO Vlad Tenev. Robinhood Chief Financial Officer Jason Warnick said the third quarter was, quote, was another strong quarter of profitable growth, end quote, and showed the company's diversification efforts with prediction markets and Bitstamp each generating $100 million or more in annualized revenues. The company said event contracts traded as part of the prediction markets more than doubled from the second quarter to $2.3 billion in the current quarter. Event contracts traded in October totaled 2.5 billion contracts, more than the entirety of the third quarter. So it does look like they're saying prediction markets are ramping. I know we talk a lot about Kalshi and Polymarket and all of that, and we look at those. That's even getting reported on TV now. So Robinhood absolutely capitalizing on that leg there. The company expects its full-year adjusted operating expenses and share-based compensation to be $2.28 billion. Quote, Q4 is off to a strong start in October with record monthly trading volumes across equities, options, prediction markets, and future, and new highs for margin balances. Warwick announced that he will retire from the company next year, transitioning from CFO in the first quarter to a strategic advisor through September 1st of 2026. Robinhood finance veteran Shiv Verma was named as the company's next CEO. So you'll have to let me know here. Are you bullish on Robinhood still? Are you waiting for a pullback here? What's the next trade on Robinhood with this event out of the way? Okay. Ready to go over to David. David, let me know if you're ready, and we'll move over to the Futures Forward segment. In the meantime here, let me roll through some of the comments here. Day trader mentioning that ELF had some interest guidance and sold off hard post earnings. Let's take a look at that. I actually did see the line there for ELF, but I didn't actually take a look at the chart. Oh, man, you're right. Look at this, down 21.26%. This actually plunges us beneath the 200-day moving average and fills the gap. Interesting move. Look where we stopped, day trader, right at that gap. Let me ask you, is this a buy? Or do we maybe give it a 3-day rule here, shake out a little bit more? We talk about Elf Beauty quite a bit in the Happy Hour show. I think that we called this the Batman double top or something like that, the little bat ears with the head and shoulders. This did end up working and resolving lower. Part of me wonders where the next buy is. You could see that this stock, when this stock gets absolutely crushed, there's definitely an opportunity to buy this and make some money here. I'd be curious what you guys think of this. Day trader saying, I don't like the guidance. Elf Beauty sees full year 26 adjusted EPS of 280 to 285 versus the 358 estimate. Yeah, no wonder you don't like that. Sees sales 1.55 to 1.57. That was against the 1.67. Boy, you're right about that. That guide is not good. Well, let me know what you think here with this. I still think after this shakes out, there's definitely going to be an opportunity to buy this. The one I feel less confident about is Duolingo, which also got absolutely smoked yesterday. This thing's down 25. Boy, this is taking another Wow, this is actually flashing like it wants to take another leg lower here. We talked a little bit about this in happy hour, and I have a pretty simplistic view on this. First of all, this stock recently, like literally May of this year, stock was nearly $550. It's sub 200 now. This thing didn't just get cut in half. It looks like it's on its way down even more. Worth noting, we are in a consolidation area. So perhaps the big selling here is done. Maybe you even get a dead cat bounce here today. But long term with Duolingo, now I fully admit I'm terrible with languages. I don't know more languages, and I wish that I did know more languages for a number of reasons, specifically American Sign Language and Spanish. Japanese would be another one, but I digress. My big thing here with Duolingo is with some of these new AI live translate features. How great is this product really? I don't know the answer to that. We had a number of folks on Happy Hour that said, yeah, I've used the product before. It's all right. There wasn't really any glowing reviews from this. And I think there are two cohorts that were kind of one before, right? You had folks that wanted to learn enough of a language so that they could either get by communicating with coworkers, or maybe they were going on a vacation and wanted to be able to go around that country. And then you had people that had to learn it because maybe they're relocating their life to a new country or something of that nature. And I think that those two cohorts were one. But now with Google's Live Translate, or with any of these AI Live Translate, I feel like you can kind of separate those cohorts. That is definitely a net negative here for Duolingo. EPS here, not great. $5.95 may not be comparable to the 76-cent estimate. Sales were 271.7. That beat the 260 million estimate. But Duolingo down 25+%. 25+%. Okay, I see that David is ready. Let's go ahead and start our Futures Forward segment here. We'll go ahead and bring David on. David, happy Thursday. First of all, I got to ask you, how are you doing with the I guess you lost your power because of the hurricane remnants last week. Is everything okay?
I don't know what it was. And no, everything is not okay. But I had my electrician come in and jerry rig a couple of things, and we're back in business. It's actually a problem with Florida Power and Light. So they got to come and change our box in the back, and it's a whole big thing. But we're back in business. It's all good.
Okay, well, you're here today. I'm sorry to hear that things aren't going well. Hopefully that turns around for you. Thanks for joining us here today. Let me start off. What do you see in the futures market? What's going on here today?
Very quiet morning. Not a heck of a whole lot going on. Thank you very much, Scotty. I'm sorry. Not a heck of a whole lot going on. Since basically 2 days ago, I got to tell you, I just think this market is very, very resilient. We had a nice pullback. I'm putting up, let's look at the SPYs since everybody is down with the spiders, right? So if we look at the SPYs, and this is our daily chart, all right, we had from our highs, right, 690 to 672. I mean, we had a 3.3% pullback, right, to be expected after we've had this gigantic run up, but we didn't break any major levels on our spiders. We didn't even approach our 30 EMA on the SPYs. So now we're building back up again. Let's see where we are on a 5-minute. We are at 679. So let's go back to our daily chart, guys and girls. And yeah, I mean, we've recaptured the trend lines. So hopefully we can build from here, start going back up higher towards the highs that we made. The government shutdown, guys and girls, and Pete will talk to you about this in a little bit. The longer this lasts, it's going to start shaving points off of our GDP, our gross domestic product. And eventually that is going to affect the market. I am supposed to fly up to New Jersey next week, and I already canceled.
Good luck. Okay, you already canceled, yeah.
Just nightmares everywhere as far as flying anywhere is concerned. So that is going to take its toll on its market at some point. So we shall see.
You got any gut feeling on whether or not that gets resolved here this week or perhaps over the weekend? There's some of that floating around out there too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hopefully it does. I think that will be a catalyst for us, at least short term, to have a nice big bounce to the upside. Look, they got to get it together, man. The fact that the Democrats won in a lot of these different primaries and mayors and stuff like that is not helping. We heard Trump speaking about that. As a matter of fact, he'll be speaking at 11 o'clock today.
I would actually take the other side of that. They 14 times voted to keep the government shut down for what appeared to be leverage. Yesterday, you had Schumer and Jeffrey saying that now they're in a rush to open it after the election. So, I mean, I think that's about as obvious as it gets there. And that's kind of why I'm wondering if we think that this is going to get resolved here soon.
Hopefully it does.
Fingers crossed. I'm with you on that, buddy.
Yeah. And, that could be at any point during the day. It could be at any point. That could be like getting a tweet and getting blown out of the water in some of these things. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we've got a very quiet morning this morning. I just want to try to get our stream up so I can see. Let's see if this works. Give me 1 sec, Ryan. I just want to try to get the stream up so I can see the comments and stuff.
That's okay. You need me to take over here?
I got it. Perfect. Beautiful. David Green, the best in the world. That's my mentor. Do you guys hear a echo now?
No, I don't hear an echo. Perfect. I never did.
Now I got the up and stuff. No, all good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, we're good. All right, we're all good. Perfect. All right, so right now, guys, I want to show you something in the NQs. We were trading. What we do now, guys and girls, is every Tuesday and Thursday night, we trade slow markets. We trade the futures from 6 o'clock till 9:30 at night, every Tuesday and Thursday night. And when we were in the midst of this giant dump down, I think it was 2 nights ago, right? We went to our daily chart in the NQs. The NQs is the NASDAQ 100 index. This is extremely volatile, the NQs, and we don't even trade it that often because of the volatility in it. But I want to show you, this is one chart where we exactly pulled down. And guys and girls, for those of you who don't know, I use moving averages for my technical analysis, and I'm happy to share it all with everybody. We use a 9 EMA, a 15, a 30, a 65, and a 200. And when anything is going down, and I'm on a daily chart, we're looking for points of support, right?
Is that what those dots are?
These dots are pivot points, but they're not that effective on a daily chart. The only time we really use pivot points is on our 5-minute chart. And you will see that they're going to be really stretched out from where we are. And here, this is a great example of this, Ryan. If we look at this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, we pulled down to this pivot point level, never broke it, and we've been off to the races ever since. So this was a beautiful support level that would not break. So this is a signal to get long, never broke that, and we've been off to the races ever since. So let's go back to this daily chart because this was just incredible. We missed this trade by 7 points on, I think, Scotty, what night was this? Where are we? Thursday? I think it was Tuesday night when we were trading slow markets. And we missed this. We didn't get the trade, but this went down 400 points, hit our 30 EMA. And you can see, this is a little longer term chart. We bounced off there and went up 400 points between that night and yesterday. So sometimes we have to go to these longer term time frames to find support and resistance on the charts.
All right. You want to check in with Peter?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Let's do it. Let's bring him on. Let's see how Einstein is doing here today. Peter, he likes it. Team? He likes it. Good morning, Peter. Happy Thursday. How you doing, boss?
Happy Thursday. I'm doing great. This market never disappoints. It's absolutely fascinating. For somebody who's been doing it a long time like me and Dave, and to really try and analyze. We always say we've seen this movie before, and I'm not sure we've seen this exact movie before, but it's kind of fascinating. Once again, we're seeing that even though they've attempted to have these pullbacks, like that other day with the Palantir earnings were out, that was a fascinating thing to look at, right? I know we're talking about futures and it's super powerful, but there are individual stocks that actually affect the whole market, right? And we see that with heavy weighted stocks in the S&P and in the Dow and whatnot. And how Nvidia is a big name, and that will actually affect the NQ, right? Will affect the S&P in a big way. And so what happened the other day with Palantir, they came out with absolute blowout earnings across the board, yet the stock was down 9%, and it actually pulled the market down. We were down pre-market 1.1%. We did bounce back a little bit midday, but we ended up closing at the lows. Now, you can interpret this a number of different ways. Obviously, they're all the forever bears that were just saying, "Oh, this just confirms for us that the AI thing is a bubble and all that." I mean, I don't know about how you can call it a bubble with a stock that's up 150% and trillions of dollars by all the largest firms in the world are going into this whole CapEx spending on AI and data centers. I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars, right? And so, you know, the people that I talk to who are, I know I look like Einstein. I'm not that friggin' smart. I love to surround myself with people like Dave who are way smarter than me. And I ask them, like Dan Ives as well, tech analysts, talking about, you know, is this a bubble? Absolutely not. Are we in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution? And that's what AI is about. Absolutely. When you're seeing the Microsoft, the Oracles, all of these, the Metas, Google's putting $600 billion committed to AI data centers and all that. And obviously that's why these stocks are the flavor of the moment. But that one stock that's been as powerful as Nvidia, now second tier, not second tier by any means, but one below Nvidia, is Palantir. And fascinatingly enough, to have blowout earnings and be down 9% sort of signifies a number of things. Is that the top? I'm not really sure. Could be some profit taking. That's very possible. But it's just fascinating. You know, there's so many different tranches of people in the market. People are playing derivative games against options and whatnot. So you never know. Why would a company come out and blow out earnings and be 9%? But it definitely affected the market. I thought there would be some follow through on day two after that. Not a chance. Yesterday, super solid market across the board. I mean, there are some fractures in the market, but, you know, the Fed is sort of once again in the under minglings of this whole thing. You know, the Federal Reserve Chairman definitely did say that, you know, a December cut was not a surety, which was caught everybody off guard, right? Because everybody have to realize that these big managers, the hedge fund managers, the big institutions, these guys have positioned themselves for stocks that are interest rate sensitive. And when you come out after Jackson Hole and you make it clear that we're making a pivot, we're going to be in the midst of a lowering interest rate cycle, and then you come out and you do one cut, then you do two cuts, but then you tell everybody that December is not. That's why the market sold off aggressively that day. But once again, there was no follow through. It's now clear that we've got over, I think it's 72%, 65 or 72% chance that December will be a cut. I'm clear. I know it. There will be one. We are still all trading blind, right? We do know that the federal government is still shut down now as of the longest shutdown in history. Is affecting the market? It's got to be in some way. I mean, we're not obviously seeing it reflected in massive sell-offs, which historically would be the case, right? Because every pullback, sell-off, consolidation that we've seen over the last month or so, at least since we're in this government shutdown, has been so shallow. And why is that the case? Because there's what we in the old school Wall Street terminology, there's a bid in the market. What does that mean? That means that there's a buyer down 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%. In the old days, when the sellers would come in, and you'd see a little bit of a gap, right? And before the buyers would step back in. The buyers are not in the market that chance. We've not seen anything. I mean, we did have that one day where the market was down 2.7% when, you know, when we had that little rare argument between the president of China and U.S. Follow through on Monday, we were up 100 handles. Not seeing anything like that. Every pullback, sell-off, consolidation has been an opportunity. It has not been an opportunity to buy, not to sell. All that being said, volatility is back in the market, which is wonderful. That is day traders. Volatility is the name of the game. As the market, we know that earnings are the name of the game, but we are day traders. That's what we do. And David is the best of the best, so I'll pass it to him.
Let me really quickly, David, let me ask you.
So
I want to dovetail off something that Peter said there regarding Palantir, it reporting blowout earnings and then trading down. You know, one of the things that as a trader, one of the things that our group has kind of been talking about a lot is when are these stocks, the time to worry is when these stocks report good earnings and then all of a sudden aren't rewarded for that and end up trading down. Do you look at that at all? You're kind of laughing about that. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, look, let's take a little longer term picture of Palantir. This is a weekly chart of Palantir, right? And the reason I was chuckling is the stock was at all time highs. I think the PE ratio is about 8,000. I don't know exactly what it is, right?
It's like 300 or something close to that.
Yeah, all right. So
8,300, who gives a damn?
So to me, and we talked about this for some of the people in my trading on long term, the play to me was having some puts going into this. The stock, like I said, it was up, whatever it was. I don't care what their earnings were or how blowout they were. It was going to be almost impossible to build on that. Short term, okay? I'm talking about short term. The stock can easily go back and make new all-time highs again. To me, what I'm looking at now is technicals, right? I'm looking at the technicals now. And I think this day, when the earnings came out, and maybe I'm wrong, did we spike up to like $220?
Yeah, 222 in the after hours. You're dead on.
222 in the after hours when it came out. I mean, this is perfectly normal, guys and girls, to get a little pullback here. I mean, just the 15-minute EMA, our trend, and if we go back and look, we have held this 15 EMA for the last, 4 months, since April, right? So 6 months, 7 months. We have not broken this 15 EMA. So to me, if I don't even start getting nervous until we break like this 172 level. If we break that 172 level, initially, it's got to be a buying opportunity. And again, I would do it with options, right? Mm-hmm. And below that, we got 153, which wouldn't shock me at some point. So perfectly normal for the stock that has done what it's done to have blowout earnings and not, keep skyrocketing from there. I know Burry came out. He's short Palantir. He's short NVIDIA, right? Whatever. NVIDIA, again, is a stock.
He's in pain.
You don't trade NVIDIA, you own NVIDIA. I've been saying that for the last 15 years in NVIDIA. And anytime you get these big, big dumpskis, it's a time to add to it, not a time to run away from it. Again, I don't give financial advice. But it was the same thing with NVIDIA. We had a giant run-up going into these earnings, right? So, that's something that everybody out there should be aware of, especially if you're going to be trading earnings, which I do not recommend to anybody ever. If you're going to do anything, I would do it based on options. But to me, kind of predictable that these things happened in these stocks, and we're getting a little pullback.
Yeah, Jay here saying David Green's spot on. Setups going into earnings matter. Absolutely, that's something that we have been talking about a lot. The companies that really kind of run into earnings tend to sell off a little bit, and the inverse is also true. So, okay, what else you got? What else you guys got? Should we take some tickers here from the chat? Do you have any other future? What about gold? That's the, we haven't even mentioned gold yet. That we led with that the last several times you guys were on.
Yep. It has been a spectacular trader for us. It has just been incredible. It's extremely volatile. We've adjusted the way that we're trading it for those of you who are trading. First of all, for everybody who's in this room, all right, if you are not trading futures, you should absolutely be trading futures, okay? It is the low barrier to entry. We have had, Ryan, I got to tell you, in the last couple of months, just incredible success stories of people opening up accounts with $33 or $37, getting them qualified, and starting to take real money from these people. I show you guys my P&L every single time, just trading the futures, and I trade. Every trade that I trade is my own, is the setups that everybody that we taught how to do this are doing. $80,000 in the last 2 months. With Apex trading futures, trading 2, 3, 4, 5 contracts at a time. And we have just been knocking it out. I don't even want to talk about it, but I'll say this, okay? 38 out of our 39 last trading sessions, this includes today and our slow markets every Tuesday and Thursday, have been profitable for us. We're not going to talk about money. I know everybody's saying jinx, jinx, jinx. I'm sorry, Scotty, but I just have to mention it. And 80% of that is being in gold. So if you guys are not trading futures, please start trading futures. It is a cheap way to get into this market and to trade without having a lot of capital.
You know what, Davey? I'll even bring it. We can bring it up a little bit. Thank you, Benzinga, for having us on. And Apex is obviously people that we're collaborating with because of the fact that they are offering the world. Think about this. A bunch of years ago, there were nothing but barriers to entry. People were not, the markets were not accessible to people who did not have $25,000 to open up an account. And now with $33, $37, whatever it may be on that day, to be actually have access to the market and then to be able to be funded and then be paid to trade. Every day I walk outside the stock exchange and there are tourists out there. The other day I walked out, I started chatting with a young guy. He was from France. It turned out he had 1,500 people in his small trading community in Paris, and they were all using Apex. It was amazing. I immediately introduced them to the Apex guys because you know what? Throughout the world, right? I have met, how if you hang out outside the stock exchange, you're going to see tourists from everywhere in the world. And it's amazing once you bring up futures and then you bring up, and the next thing they always say is, oh, Apex, which is so great. So that's exciting. Everybody should know that. We also, David and I, we have a trading academy called Wall Street Global Trading Academy. We just launched a futures course specifically in accordance with Apex. It's absolutely masterful. Kevin and Ken from our group and David. It's a 9-hour course on technical analysis and just futures. Everybody, please check it out. We also do on the 12th. We're going to have a masterclass webinar the 12th of this month, 8 p.m. I guess that's next Wednesday. We do have it once a month on a Wednesday. It's live, it's free. And we talk about trading futures. We talk about trading in general. We talk about technicals. We talk about all that stuff. And then we talk about Apex. So, for anybody who's sitting around on the outskirts of this going, you know what, I'm intimidated by this market. I don't know what to do. It's trading at all-time highs. What do I do? At the end of the day, there's no bad time to get involved in the market, especially when you're putting off risk onto others. And Apex is a wonderful way to do that. And then you get a chance to learn from David. So those are the opportunities are there. If you're sitting on, staring at us, looking at the opening. That's why I always go on Instagram in the morning when we do this on Thursdays. And then David and I do it on Monday and Friday, because very many new traders are intimidated. What do I do? I open an account. I learned a little bit from these guys, but what do I do in the morning? What's my first entry? I'm like intimidated by the market. How do I find a stock? Where do I put my entry points? All that stuff. You know what? So to have us here on a Thursday morning, to be able, Dave's going to start trading the opening bell when the market starts to move. That's the intimidating part of this thing. So you know what? We're here to help you. Benzinga is giving us this wonderful stream to do that. This is your time to check out when somebody is holding in, because once you get it once you put it, and whether you lose money or not, that feeling of excitement is there. You'll never feel anything better.
Thanks, Pete. All right, Ryan, let's do this. Ryan, we're going to give away some accounts today, okay? We'll wait till after the market opens or whatever will slow down. Or we can do this. Instead of guys talking about all this stuff, here's what I want to do for everybody, okay? We're going to post my email, all right? It's dgreen927@yahoo.com. I'm going to invite every single person here to come to our trading room and trade live with us, okay? We'll go over this whole futures thing if you're confused about it. We'll show you all our trading setups.
Turn off my sound here.
Hang on. I'll get that together.
Got them? We'll show you our trading setups instead of just talking about this and the course and all that stuff. In our course, we have included Tuesday and Thursday night slow markets. So, guys, just come in and check it out, okay? Let's stop with the sales talk, Ryan. All right, post my email. Come into the trading room, guys and girls. I'll get you guys in there today after we finish here. Yeah, send me an email. I'll get you all guys in. If you are not trading futures, you want to learn how to trade in futures, or you're trading futures and you're struggling with it, boom chakalaka, come hang out with us, and that doesn't cost anybody anything. All right. I know 9 o'clock we're up against you, Ryan. So let's just go, if we can, and go over the orders that we have out here now.
Absolutely.
And things that we're looking at for the opening. Oh, this is subject to change, right? So our main traders in the futures is gold and the ESs. The ES is the S&P 500 futures. Sometimes we dabble a little in oil. And as you can see in the private trading room, guys and girls, I post every single trade that we are going to do with stop losses and profit targets. This is my own money. I have skin in the game on every single trade that I do. I'm not sitting here. And again, we don't give financial advice. Ryan will tell you that also.
Yep.
Push your own buttons. We don't tell anybody what to buy and sell. But it's important, I think, that if you are trying to learn for somebody, that they have skin in the game. Otherwise, they become a signal service, right? And I don't need somebody to tell me where to buy and where to sell something. I want to learn where to buy and where to sell something, okay? So I think it's important for anyone who's mentoring you or you're trying to learn from to have skin in the game on every single trade that they do, period. All right. So first thing we're looking at is gold, okay? And gold right now is trading at 40.22. Now, when I'm looking to get into a trade in gold, I want it to move at least 10 points to hit one of my support or resistance levels. If it doesn't move 10 points to hit one of my support or resistance levels, the odds of that trading are not going to be that good. So we want at least a 10-point move in gold. And the reason we want that is because if it moves 10, 15 points to hit one of our technicals, the odds are in our favor that it's going to stop going down and start going up. Okay, and then we also look for trend trade. So right now, early in the morning, we always are more conservative than we normally would be. So up here, guys, I have my pivot point. Okay, we talked about these earlier. These are going to be further away from where the stock is trading. That would have to move 18 points to hit that level. The odds are, if this gold spikes up 18 points, we are going to get a pullback from that level. Technically, we're going to get a pullback. And on the buy side, we're all the way down here on our 200 EMA, which is down 16 points from here. Again, Nice big move. So that's where our orders are right now for the opening. Subject to change. We'll see how things go between now and then. Let's go to the ESs, the S&P 500 futures. Okay. You can see here, guys and girls, we had our previous week low at 68.43.50. And guys and girls, don't be confused and think that futures is any harder to trade than stocks. It's not. It's all technical. It's the same exact thing, right? We use our technicals the same way as if I was trading Palantir or NVIDIA. Same exact thing. Doesn't matter. And we just missed this up here at 68.43. We went down 6 points. All right. So we have a little level at 68.30. That's down 7 points from here. And then we have our 200 EMA all the way down here at 68.25. That's the spot we're going to look at for the opening. So very patient, very disciplined on the opening and let things set up. Gold. We talked about gold. So those are the setups that we're looking at right now. Okay. And again, it's a very, very quiet morning. I think Trump is meeting at 11 o'clock today. Somebody told me he's having a little conference.
That is correct.
We will cancel all our positions. Anytime we have a news event, guys and girls, I am canceling all my positions, and we are not going to have any orders out, and we wait for the news event to pass. Maybe we will trade based on that if we get it in one of our setups. Oil is dumping. Let's take a look at oil. Nah, it's not dumping. It's coming in a little bit. I like oil. If we get down to our 59.08 pivot point, that's down 70 cents from there. So as we're looking around at all these things, I'll go and I'll put out my bid. 59.10 in oil. Boom. Put it out. 59.10. And we spend all day, guys and girls, just as you were looking at stocks, looking for our levels in the futures. Basically the same thing, right? All right. We are all set up, right? You want to do a little stock stuff for a bit?
Yeah, that's let's do that here. Actually, let me go through some of the movers. It shouldn't take me all that long.
Take
then
your time. Come back. We're good for 10, 15 minutes. Do what you got to do.
Okay. Perfect. Let me go ahead and do that here. I'm just going to put you in the back temporarily. I don't want to surprise him. 13, can you hear me? You want to come on and help me with this? The group would love it. Oh, F it. Let's do it live. 13. We're going to do the movers here together real quick, and then we'll run through it. I feel like I have to prove to everybody that you are actually here, even if you're not on camera. Like you're still here, and we're still going to go through all that stuff. So let's just go ahead and get started here. First one here, FRGE. Nothing really to do. This is an acquisition. Charles Schwab signed an agreement to acquire the company. This is getting bought out. Forge Global Holdings. Was someone in this? Jay, were you in this one? I can't remember. I feel like we've talked about this one before. Anyway, buyout today. No trades there. Grats if you had it. Next one here. This one's kind of
well, hold on. There's another acquisition too. GDEN. There's two companies being acquired.
Okay.
Let's just get those
out of the way. Good idea. What was the ticker again? I'm sorry.
GDEN. GDEN.
GDEN. Okay, perfect. That's Golden Entertainment. Here's your other one. Again, really good liquidity here. And then what's interesting here, Vici Properties. I'm pretty sure that was a Tim Melvin high conviction buy there.
Write this down and we'll ask him about it when you see him next week.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, you know what? Let me take a note on that here real quick. GDEN. I'll even ask him today. Awesome. Ask Timbo. I like calling him Timbo too. Okay, so good call on that. Let's get those out of the way. But now let's start here with an actual mover, with an actual catalyst, STGW. Now, STGW, this is Stackwell. This is a global marketing network. I don't think they need cash, and they reaffirm their guidance above the estimate. Shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results and issued full year sales guidance above the estimate here. You can see we actually traded up right towards 9. The stock came from like 480s, traded up almost to 9. It's holding higher here by about 47%. I know we're coming in. We lost the VWAP, the whole 9 yards, but this actually doesn't look too bad. Let's see if we get a spot for this to settle. As far as the short interest goes here, 8.18% of the float shorted with 7.23 days to cover. So there's some short interest here, although it's not abnormally high. On average, the stock trades 1.13 million shares. Today, it's traded just shy of 33 million. Float on this one is like 95 million. So it's going to be a little bit thicker than some of these smaller movers that we're taking a look at. 13, what do you think post earnings here? STGW.
Well, this is one of their positive earnings. If you look at their quarterly reports, say they go back and forth between being positive and having a slight loss. That's okay. They have great revenue. They have lots of cash. I'm not worried.
They're profitable.
This.
Correct.
Profitable. So there's nothing financially worrisome here with them as far as we're for making a trade here today. What we do want to pay attention to is the price action we're getting in the pre-market here. We do have a bull flag setting up. We'll see if this gets the resolution we're looking for. I would think that it would start to turn around soon. I'm looking for a little bit of a print beneath 7 before we start to turn around. So could see a little bit more weakness before we try to come back up towards VWAP again. But we do want to hold up at the very least, a 65 EMA, which is way further way down at 626. I'm not sure we'll get down that far, but it's not an impossibility. We do want to see this turn around, especially as we approach the open, and we want to see a trade towards VWAP because that's going to be the big area to get over after we open.
Okay, perfect. Really good breakdown there. STGW, I'm not going to be in a hurry to buy this one, but I am definitely going to watch this one at a minimum. I'm going to keep this on the back burner here today. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw this in one of my charts right now just to force myself to look at it. Also, one more thing here. You mentioned, I think that 624 level or whatever, 626. Yeah, I've got it at 623. It's basically the same thing. It's also worth noting here that the standard deviation from the VWAP to the downside, which sometimes acts as support, it's not shown on this chart here. That value is 671, and it sure looks like that's where we are marching to now. So want to see this firm up, not trying to buy a falling knife and be a hero here. Pay attention to the technical, just like we talked about with David when it comes to futures there. It's all about technicals here. No reason to try and be a hero. Next one on the list here is going to be FTEL. This one looks like this is moving on a recent piece of news. This wasn't moving earlier when I took a look at it.
Just started.
Okay. FitTel Corporation announces a $50 million stablecoin financing in 2F Robotics, a platform for AI-driven advanced robotic systems. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know specifics about this, but that PR has all them buzzwords that you want. This is enters an SPA with a U.S.-based institutional investor to issue $50 million of convertible notes to launch an AI-driven robotics joint venture, 2F Robotics. The net proceeds from the $50 million financing will be converted to stablecoin assets and held with a U.S. custodian. That is causing the stock to pop here. We're up 30+%. Quick peek at the short interest on this name, 3.89%. That's actually down significantly from the last print. 1 day to cover, that's pretty negligible. Float on this one, a micro float. 349,000 shares in the float. I'll go ahead and check know the float, see if we get a different figure. On average, stock trades 167,000 shares a day. Today, it's traded 8 million. 13, what are you thinking on this one? And while you're doing that, I'll check know the float here.
Well, it looks like it's getting some support from 280 right now. I would say the financials don't look that great, but if they're going to be picking up 50 million through convertible notes, then I'm just going to say it's a matter of time before that cash is in the bank.
Indeed.
The movement is on the announcement that they're planning on raising capital. They don't have the money yet, but they should. Now, as far as the technicals go, this is trying to get through a little area of consolidation. Since the 29th of October, pretty much the end of October, we saw a big drop at the end of the month, and it kind of went sideways. We're still a little bit lower. It was slightly under $2 at the open, or when we started trading today. Now it's above 3, coming up to some resistance areas. I don't know if it's going to get too much further than the high that it made, because there is a lot of sideways consolidation. But I could be completely wrong about that. We could see it break through 4 and go on a big run. If it does do that, then I think that we could see this come up to as high as potentially 625. That seems to be the big area where there's a lot of resistance from, that was previously support, and you have the 65-day EMA bearing down on that position. So I think that's going to be an area I'd be keeping an eye on if we do get this breakout over 4.
Okay, and I'll just do you one better here. I'll give you a stupid level early just in case. Remember, we're reporting a very, very small float. I'll show you the float here in a sec. But I basically have a trend line from some of these previous peaks. That trend line's at 1350. That's your first stupid level today if this thing goes absolutely buck wild. Really quickly, for know the float, here you go. Know the float reporting 4.8. 0.89, 3.42, and 4.56 million in terms of those floats. So the one that we have is extremely low, but even if you were to average these out, it would still be a pretty low float. This stock can absolutely move here today. Real quickly, I did want to mention this. I know it's not part of the movers, but Jay's bringing us some really good stuff again here. Jay Rice saying, Ryan, speaking of FTEL, remember the other robotic play tour? Yeah, I sure do, because you're exactly right with the next thing of what you said here. It just won't pull back. They never let you into some of these Momo sectors. And you know what, Jay? You're absolutely right about this. When we actually talked about TUR the first time, one of the things that I was looking at was a potential floating island here, right? Wanted this thing to come back in, maybe hold the bottom of this candle. It never really did that. It only did that on day one. It started melting up. It had another power move higher here. So to your point about not letting us into some of these Momo names, you're absolutely right. Here's what I want to ask you. And you can take your time on this one, but I kind of want to have this as a discussion. And 13, I'd love to hear your input on this a little bit later as well. When you have something like this, how do you trade that? Because a lot of the times when we're talking about some of these Momo names, we really want to wait for a quality entry. Sometimes you just don't get that. How do you go about that calculus, Jay? Do you just add a little bit? Do you effectively try to chase in a risk-controlled way? Do you just try to be patient? What's the answer here? Because you're exactly right. We've actually seen some of this with some of the data center plays as well. I know this is robotics, but we also saw this with some of the data center plays as well.
Oh, before you left that, I was going to say, one of the things that I'm seeing right away from that is that if you just, pick it up, if you're buying this on the way up, if you just pick it up on the days where it has the largest red candle or the most selling volume, that's probably some of the best days. Look at that red candle and the one before it. It was like toward the beginning. Well, that one there too. That was a bottoming area, and then some of those right there. So it seems like every time you have a high volume selling day, that's probably the best time to start doing something like that. Now I'm not making, I'm suggesting that's what you do, but it seems like that's the pattern for this.
Hey, I asked, you answered. That's exactly what we're looking for, 13. Really good stuff in that. Jay here says, I'm not a chaser, Ryan. If I miss it, I miss it. That's the way I feel, Jay. That's the way I feel. If I miss it, I miss it. I just wanted to see if maybe there was something else on there, but good stuff and good discipline sticking to your guns there as well. Okay, let's keep moving here. Next one, I've got AL. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're still all right here on time. Next one I have here, ALTO. No, it's not Alito. It's Alto Ingredients. This stock in the after hours yesterday popped up as high as 170. Couldn't really break above that. Shares are trading higher after the company beat Q3 earnings and revenue estimates. The good news here is while we couldn't break through 170, we pulled back a little bit. Today we're being compressed by the VWAP, so y'all know what this means. We got to get above this. The move here, a potential trade higher, maybe a move back to 170. We got to get past this VWAP here. Would love to build above this VWAP. Would love to have a candle or two close above the VWAP here and build that value at 152. We'll see if that ends up getting taken out. Quick look at the short interest on this one. It is negligible. 0.6% of the float shorted, 1.64 days to cover. That comes on really low volume here, 428,000 shares per day. Today we've traded 9.1 million. Float on this is 73.3 million. 13, what do you think on ticker ALTO?
Well, unless I'm not seeing the correct information, it looks like this might be their first positive quarter in a few years. So that's great for the company because they were losing. Well, last quarter they lost 11 million, and they've got only a couple quarters worth of cash if they were going to continue with that burn rate. So this is great news. Looking at their chart, it seems as though they are trying to get back over the 200 EMA on the daily chart. That has been an area of rejection for them going back. Gosh, let's see. Bear with me while I see how far back that goes. So ever since they lost that this EMA in 2023, November of 2023, the price has been trying to get back above this EMA and getting rejected every single time. So that would be something I'd be cautious about. Now it has gone on a small run above it when it does break over the 200 daily EMA, but it comes right back down a day or two later. So just something to keep in mind when we're trading this. I would think selling into breakouts might be a good idea.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they just reported positive earnings, so there could be a little bit more left. So I take that information how you will. I think selling into the breakouts over the 200 EMA is probably the safest way to go about this one.
Okay, perfect. And then really quickly, I just wanted to mention FTEL here, as you guys were mentioning, this is now taking the second leg higher here. So
Nice.
big move. Grats if any of you hit that here in the pre-market. As we were just discussing on some of those larger stocks, will not chase. So we'll wait and see if this sets up. All right, 13, we are very tight on time here. Do you have any other stocks from the list that you would like me to focus on real quick and finish up?
It's not on the list. It's something I was talking about for the past couple of days. They just reported earnings this morning. They haven't got a whole lot of movement, but they have extremely high short interest. Ticker YOU. This company, ClearSecure, has been helping people through backed up TSA lines, airports. This is something that I've been talking about how these airports are just like absolutely, slammed together with wait times for getting through TSA to get their flights. Some as many as 3 to 5 hours you're having to wait there. This is an alternative. I think people are signing up for this. I think this could potentially short squeeze. Do not keep this on your radar just in case it does today.
Okay. All right. Real good stuff. 13, we're going to check back in with you here in about 50 minutes. Thanks for the breakdown. As a reminder, 13's not going anywhere. He's going to be in the chat. He's going to be trading. He's going to be delivering his delicious levels. 13, thanks very much. We will see you soon.
All right. See you later, guys.
All right. That is 13. Let's bring David back on here. David, I'll go ahead and throw your screen back on here. Let me just pick up right there because you and I kind of already discussed this. What do you think about ticker YOU, ClearSecure? I don't know if you've ever used this before. I know you just said you canceled your trip. One of the things, while you're pulling that up and looking at it,
what is it? What's the symbol, Ryan?
YOU, Yankee Oscar Uniform. What I like about this is the way that these folks end up selling their service. I think that 13's thesis here is going to be dead on. They are going to absolutely have more subscriptions. The way this works, when you're in the airport, they've got two lines. One of them is super long. The other one has nobody in it. And the people from the ClearSecure line come over to you and they say, hey, would you like to skip this big line that you're waiting in? And of course, the answer is always yes. They bring you over to this thing. You sign a form, which means that you accept the subscription at a later date. You don't pay anything in the airport. They scan your iris. You go through security. Apparently, there's some other things that can help you get to the front of the line on as well. Here's the thing. You get to your plane. You get to wherever you're going. You get home, you go to sleep, and then you forgot you signed up for a subscription service. And 30 days later, you get billed. You can't refund it. You have to cancel for the next one. So I do think with all of these backups, with all of this stuff going on in the airport, this company is definitely going to benefit. David, I was hoping you could take a look at the chart and give us something for it.
It's earnings this morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a major breakout on every chart that we're looking at, right?
Perfect.
Yeah. The daily was, 32.75 was our 65 EMA. Once you got above that, boom, momentum. What's the all-time high? All-time high is up at 39. Let's go weekly just to look. Yeah, I mean,
look at that really double top possible breakout if we get above 39 there.
Above that 39, that all-time high, I think it's off to the races again. Certainly wouldn't be looking to short it. That's for sure.
Okay. All right, David, we've got, 18 minutes until the open here. Do you have any updates on any positions or any new positions? I see Palantir's rolling over, tech selling off.
I want to show you guys a trade that didn't work, okay? Because we got to show the good and the bad, baby. All right? So we were looking at the ESs. We had an order out on our 200 EMA at 64.25. It went down 16 points to hit that level. I'm making that trade every single time, right? So we got long at 25. We were able to take a point out of it at 26. And then we got stopped out when it went 2 points against us. So we lost $17 on that trade. But I wanted to show you guys that not every trade that we are going to do work. Everybody has losing trades. That's just the bottom line. So now we're looking at the ES, the S&P 500 futures, and we have a pivot point down at 611.25. So we're going to put an order out down there. And guys and girls, I don't get upset when I have a losing trade. Losing trades are fine as long as you handle them properly. Right. It's going to happen. Okay, so here's our next support level, 611.25. And let's see, we made a low of like 19. So we're going to look to short this now if we get up to all our trend lines at 68.32, up 10 points from here. 68.32. Let's take a look at gold, the other thing that we're watching. All right, so now we were down on our big support level for a buy and up on our big resistance level for a sell. Let's go to oil, see what we're doing in oil. We got a couple of orders out. We got 60.65 on a short. We can cancel that. We don't care. We got 59.10 on our pivot point. We like that if we get down there. Let's go to gold. Gold. All right, gold is sitting in the middle of nowhere, not doing anything. We have an order out at a double top if we go up to 40.30. And we got an order out at 400.650. That is our 200 EMA, down 10 points from here. So that's where we are sitting for this opening. And we'll see if we get any of those levels here. Let's see what the SPYs are doing. SPYs had the same move. My guess is, Ryan, that some kind of news bleep or something came out for the spiders to make that big giant move down like that. We went down over 2 points. What time did that happen? Around 9:05. I don't think we had any economic news come out.
Nope.
But again, this is market volatility, guys and girls. This is what's going to happen, right? Now, we got Fed speak today at 12 o'clock. Tomorrow, we have Michigan Consumer Senate at 11 o'clock. That's a big one. That could possibly move the markets. So nothing else coming out economically today. Let's look at a couple of stocks, guys and girls, because we are trading stocks, right? Palantir.
David, really quickly,
Yeah.
I have a line item here. Let me show you. I'll just put my screen on here for a sec. I have a news post here that says the U.S. announces changes in reciprocal tariff rates with China after the agreement. And here's the thing. When I actually click on the link, which of course Pro provides to you, it takes me to the federalregister.gov and it doesn't give me anything. It says this document is unpublished and scheduled to be published on November 7th, which is tomorrow. So we're getting the headline out here, but we're not getting it really any content there. That's in answer to your question of we must have had some type of news. This is all I see out there, boss.
Okay. That could be it. I mean, otherwise, I think it had to be something. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen a big move like that. Something had to come out. That's the bottom line. Why don't we do this, right? Where we got a few minutes. Let's give away 5 accounts.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to give 5 Apex accounts out. Our suggestion when you do this is to do the $50,000 account. And if you don't know how to do any of this, again, we'll post my email again. Come into my trading room. We'll get you in there. As soon as we finish up in here about 10 o'clock, we'll get you right into the trading room. For this one, Ryan, we're going to post wsgta.com@gmail.com.
Okay. Producer, if you could throw that up on the screen and pin it. I actually might already be pinned, David, but let's throw it up on the screen to make it a little bit easier.
So anyone who wins an account, we'll do 5 now. We'll do 5 when we get out of here at 10 o'clock. Send an email. That is Roman. And he will set you up with a free account on Apex. Then if you have any questions about what to do from there, get into the trading room later today and we'll walk you through the entire process. All right? All you, Ryan.
All right. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's get some lucky number 3s in the chat here today. You can go ahead and drop those in there. Just start flooding the chat with 3s. And I will go ahead and select 5 winners from those people that are mentioning that. All right. And we also have Peter back. So let me put Peter on here. The only ask that I'm going to have here, Peter, let me announce who won these. I know you probably have an update here, but let me announce who won these. I'm just going to go start picking here. Here we go with the flood. And you guys are listening. I'm not seeing people put 1s out here. That's awesome. All right. Going to randomize this list and just click on 1. Stoic Trading 1. You are a winner. Producer, can you please put the email addresses on screen for users to email? Can you please put that on screen? I don't know where the asset for that is. Stoic Trader, you are winner number 1. Go ahead and re-randomize this list here. And then bang. Next, Linda McCall, 5291. You are a winner here today. Congrats. Producer, that is David Green's email. I think we also need the WSGTA. I'm probably going to butcher it. This is why I asked for an asset of it, so I don't give out the wrong email. Peter, what's the right email?
WSGTA.com.
All right, at gmail.com. It's on the screen. You can also CC us at shows@benzinga.com. We'll make sure that all gets going. Okay, 2 winners here, 3 more to go. I'm going to try and speed it up here. Next winner here is going to be GH Coley. Actually, those are some sick shades too, GH. You are a winner here today. Congrats. Be sure to email that. All right. Let me randomize the list again here real quick. Bang. Jay Harris. Hey, Jay Harris, 4563. You are a winner here as well. One more to go. One more to go. Let me randomize it here. One more and bang. Shanart or Shan Art 27. Looks like you're actually cleaning up a room there. You are a winner. I hope you clean up with the futures account. Go ahead and shoot that email out, and we'll be in good shape. There you go. Emails on the screen. 5 winners. We're going to give away 5 more near the end of the show. All right, Peter, thank you very much. What kind of update do you have for us?
No problem at all. So, look, I'm just watching. There's some news coming out about the new mayor-elect. You know, we don't talk about politics here, so we don't really care about it, but there's some reports coming out this morning about the new mayor-elect who's going to be meeting with a lot of financial leaders like the Jamie Dimons of the world and all that. And so it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. We're also going to start to have some Fed governors trickle out with their impressions of the last Fed meeting and also what we're anticipating for December. So look, we're in Thursday. You know, it's a fascinating. It's just everybody knows I'm in December. I'm still in July. November is historically the best performing months of the year for the stock market. Okay, and we have not seen seasonality take heed at all for the last couple of months, right? September, October tend to be weaker ones or slower ones or softer ones, and we did not see that at all because they were kind of blowout months in a good way. So look, I don't think we're going to see that much anything different in November. Obviously, we've got Thanksgiving. We start to get a sense of it. People also need to know, this is a little tidbit, that a lot of the hedge funds and a lot of the mutual funds and a lot of closed-end funds, they closed down their books, some at the end of October, some at the end of November. Now, imagine you're a large fund and you're up 15, 20% for the year. And you don't know what kind of volatility, especially with these reports coming out about potential weakness coming into the end of the month with the Fed not potentially cutting interest rates. Why would you not lock in? At the end of the day, these funds are being judged, right, graded by their customers. What they don't want is redemptions. They don't want people giving back profits. The same way as we are as day traders. David always says, never turn a winning trade into a losing trade or a winning day into a losing day. Same thing with these large funds. I'm up 15, I'm up 20%. Solid year, whether you track the S&P, whether you did actually way better. Some of these funds are up 20, 30, 40% for the year. They've had really good years. Why would you even consider giving any of that back? And November, while November is the best performing months of the year, there's going to be volatility. We know there's a lot going on. Obviously, with a new player coming into New York, obviously with Mr. Trump going up against him, how finance is panning out, what's happening with Jay Powell and the president. And look, we just also a report came out earlier this morning that we are going to lock in deals with China. But you know what? Look, we don't know whether it's rare earth minerals, whether it's the chips or whatnot. So November and December, historically, if you look at 2019, we look at 2021, there have been years where these last 2 months can be incredibly volatile. And if I'm a fund and I've locked in 15, 20, 25%, I don't want to give it back. So very often you'll also see tax harvesting, right? People who have had really good years or want to take advantage of some of the losses they've had to protect the capital gains. So a lot goes on in November and December, and that's why you're going to see some of these wild and crazy days. Volume will spike, directionality will spike. So everybody should be aware of this. I know I'm talking a macro thing here.
No, but let me ask you something here. I want to do, I guess, a little devil's advocate. I wouldn't even call it pushing back here, but a little devil's advocate. First of all, I got to say that scarf looks like the warmest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's really awesome. But you were just talking about November being the best, traditionally, based on seasonality, the best month of the year. Conversely, September is often the worst month of the year. We end up bottoming in October, but we didn't really see that effect this week. So does that give you any trepidation about maybe things will be a little bit different in November and December?
Absolutely. I absolutely think that seasonality has not been holding its own. I mean, historically, we've got so many of those months sell in May, go away. Mm-hmm. We got the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur trade. You've got weakness in September. You've got the trauma from October, the crash of 87, that PTSD. I mean, there's a lot of stories that roll around, in the annals of Wall Street, where seasonality plays a role, but we haven't seen it for the last couple of years at all, right? Because of all the moving parts, because of the way the Fed has been, because of the interest rate cycle, because of the new administration, because of tariffs. There are so many moving parts in this story that it's really taken that seasonality has not been following through at all. We've had 2 blowout months, right? They've been good earnings. We've been 80% of the S&P has been beating, right? We're actually coming up with reasonable guidance going into the end of the year. Now, people are projecting some kind of weakness post, coming into the beginning of 2026. I mean, look, everyone's got an opinion. We know that, right? And that's what that's what's so great about the market. Market's going to go up or down. The answer is yes. That's a guarantee. But yes, you're right. I may have a little bit of trepidations because September and October did not follow suit on weakness there. And that's what historically may cause that nice rally into the end of the year for November. But I was on with Dan Ives yesterday, who I really respect. And he feels, that we're, just for a wonderful number. Obviously, we really feel that there's a 7 in front of the S&P by year end. I'm already printing up my Dow 50,000 hats because I missed 46 and 47,000.
I'm doing the MESs early.
Go.
Oh, sorry, Pete.
I'm gonna go, Davey. Go. You're on for trades. I'm gonna pass it to Dave. Go for it. Trade the market, brother.
All right.
Really quickly, David and Peter, my official outlook for 2026. I've never been wrong on my outlook, so I'm going to give it to you. You guys ready for this? The market is definitely going to go up and down, and on most weekdays, it's going to be open between 9:30 and 4.
I love it.
I love it. You know what? And it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold in January. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you in a little bit.
Peter, take care of yourself. You're not going to be cold. Not with that scarf, baby. That thing's a moneymaker right there. All right, David, what do you got here ahead of the open?
We got things melting down a little bit here, guys and girls.
I'm going to step away for 1 sec, Dave. I'll be right back, all right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
We got things melting down a little bit here, guys and girls. Gold is having a little spike down. The futures are having a big spike down now. So we're going to be conservative for the opening. So there's 2 things we can do when we're trading futures. We can trade the micros or we can trade the minis, right? The micros are a bigger contract. It's more money per point, more risk. The minis are the smallest contract, not much risk at all. So what we're going to do for the opening is 6804 is a fib. All right, let's go down there. What we're going to do for the opening, guys and girls, is be very, very conservative. I don't like the action that we're getting right now. We don't want to get caught in anything early in the morning and have it upset our day for the rest of the day. So we're going to be ultra, ultra conservative. All right. So we're going to put an order at 6804 in our ESs. That's down 10 points from here. We have a Fibonacci level down there. We'll explain the Fibonacci levels to you guys. We teach you how to do that. Gold, guys and girls, I don't like the 95 anymore. We're going to go down to our previous day close at 39.90 and be very conservative for the opening. And I'll show you guys where we're getting these numbers, why we're putting these orders out. I just think we can have a lot of volatility this morning, so I think we're going to take it easy breezies and just relax. I don't see any reason to rush into anything. No FOMO, because that's what happens with people. They start getting FOMO when they see things going down like this, and they want to run into trades, and that is not the answer. So we're going to take a chill pill and just relax. Let things open up and be conservative.
Relaxed ahead of the open. I like it.
Yeah, there's no reason ever not to be relaxed.
You got that right.
The reason we put orders out is because we want to get hit. So when we have orders out, I'm looking for these things to hit our levels so we can get into trades. But like I said, I smell a lot of volatility this morning, so we'd rather be safe than sorry and just take a little chill pill and everything. All right.
And FTEL, by the way, excuse me, one of those movers there, FTEL, that pretty much completely erased the second leg higher that it traded on. So we'll see if that firms up here a little bit. Snapchat is popping here still in the pre-market. This is holding plus 16% after its better than expected results yesterday, still under the high in the after hours. That high there is 930.
There you go. 2 minutes to Wapna.
D-Nut at the highs. Crispy. You a Krispy Kreme fan, David?
D-Nuts, did you say?
No. The ticker DNUT is Krispy Kreme. Are you a fan of the Krispy
no, I am
Kreme
not
donuts?
a fan of Krispy Kreme.
Okay. Heart attack rings. No go for David.
Not for me. ES is 68.27 fib on the short side. Let's pop that out. Okay, we see that S&P 500 futures are still coming down here.
Yep.
We're just hitting our
NASDAQ
little,
too.
hitting the pivot point here, which I initially liked. We'll see if we get a bounce off here. But again, we're just being ultra conservative off the opening to take a little chill pill here. Relax. We are getting a lot of volatility and things are coming in pretty strongly here. So we're going to just take it easy this morning and see what the cat drags in. 68.27 MESs. Maybe this is a day where we're setting up for downtrends. We are certainly getting a little stretched on the downside right now. So we'll see.
I'll take it. I'm still in a Palantir short, and that short is paying. So if we continue to have some more downside there, we'll be in good shape. By the way, I'm short via being long PLTZ. So I just say short just to make it obvious, but I'm actually long PLTZ, the invert 2X ETF.
There we go. Double bottom from this morning in Palantir, and that pivot point is like 186.40. So a break of that, you could be off to the races. And they're off. Now, another thing that we have set up, guys and girls, you'll see on my chart, this little blue box. This is the 5-minute opening range breakout. So what I'm going to be looking for here around 9:35 is if we can break above that for a buy or break below it for a short. So that is our 5-minute opening range breakout. We like to concentrate on that. And sometimes we get some really good trades on it, especially since we're down this low in a couple of the things that we're looking at. So
Palantir out of the open, straight down. If you guys are playing PLTZ, the way that I find the most effective for this is to trade it back and forth. Don't necessarily wait for the moonshot. Be sure to trade it back and forth as it's moving around. You got a nice little drop right out of the gate there.
Boom. And we broke yesterday's lows in Palantir. Yep, 186.50. So let's see where we are, guys, in case we want to trade Palantir somewhere. 184.62, guys.
That's
the 30-minute EMA on a daily chart.
Boom. Thank you.
184.62. So let's put a little marker out. Not necessarily to do something, but let's see. If it gets down there, we'll take a look.
Datadog, this moving off the open here. This is they had reported earnings this morning, better than expected. Looks like it's trying to take another leg higher here. That's ticker DDOG, Delta Oscar Golf.
All right, oil. Let's take a look. What are we doing in oil? Oil. Wow, guys, we just missed our oil by like 10 cents. Look at that. Got to 59.17. We were at 59.10. All right, let's take a chill pill in oil. ES is moving up. Gold is moving up. So we didn't really get the moves follow through down that we were looking for. So in 3 minutes, guys, we'll see if we can break above the 5-minute orb or below the 5-minute orb in both gold and ES. Someone keep an eye on that. Boom, chakalaka. We got 3 minutes. I want to do that momentum trade either way if it sets up. Palantir, a little bounce. Tiny.
Yep. Pac B closed the after hours gap just right off the open here. We'll see if it's got some more. CELH, Celsius Holdings, they reported earnings. Looks like lower we go here on Celsius. Someone do a wellness check here on Crow. This thing down 22% now here. Wow, where's the bottom in Celsius?
Let's take a look. Earnings, right? Yeah, earnings. So again, even with our 5-minute orb on this, if we can break this 5-minute orb on the downside, that would be set up for a nice short. Right now, it's like 46.35. Let's check a daily and see where we are. Below everything here. We're below our 200 EMA, and this is earnings. So 40, what is that? Ooh, we are sitting. 46.63 is a 65 EMA on a weekly. What do we hit? Wow. So far, we went below that by 5 cents. 46.63 was the weekly support level. And we basically rallied $1 from there. So, if we were looking, guys and girls, and we got to this quick enough, there it is. 46.65 was our 65 EMA on a weekly chart. And it went 8 cents below that so far. So if we break that 46.55, that would also be the bottom of the orb, and it could be setting up for a better short. So take a look. What are we doing? ES and MESs. Okay, we are hanging. All right, 2 minutes, guys. So right now, what we're looking at in this 5-minute orb is a break above or a break below to get momentum up or down. Same thing in gold. We got 2 minutes for this to set up. So looking for a break above the orb or a break below the orb. So gold could be setting up here, guys and girls. We are 30 points away from the high. Let's keep our eyes on gold for the next minute or so. See if we can get a breakout here above this 407.40. We'll call it 408.
Palantir is bouncing here. We'll see if that ends up going green. 190 is a spot for me to watch. Pinterest is bouncing here today or trading up out of the open here today. They had earnings recently. Yesterday was extremely weak, closed on the lows. Looks like it's reversing a little bit here today. And it looks like the market's starting to bounce here. So SPY's starting to bounce. NASDAQ is trying as well.
All right, guys, we're looking at the 1 minute orb in gold. Okay. Let me know if you guys are going to jump in. Right now, we got 1 minute. If we get above that 4009, could be a breakout in gold. Let's keep our eyes on it. All right, let's look at Palantir. See if we want to do a little shorty somewhere, guys and girls.
Lift with a little bit of a dip and rip.
I don't like anything in Palantir on the short side. Let's just chill out.
Lift new highs now through the pre-market high. This on the back of its better than expected earnings report. That's LYFT Lift. I would say 2350 is probably a spot if it can get there, if it still has some strength.
Okay, guys, let's watch the breakout in gold here if we get it. All right, we got a little breakout in gold above that 409 level. Okay, I grabbed a little bit. Going to be looking to sell some at 40.11. If we get up that high, tight stop.
FTEL trying to move off the 15 EMA. Don't feel great about it. VWAP up there, 369. IOVA is another one of our movers here today. That tried to break 240. That came back into the breakout spot. That looking a little bit weak as well. Lift still strong.
Okay, sold a little gold at 40.11, guys and girls. If we get 40.12, I'll be done. Take the trade. Bring your stop up to break even. So I want to show you guys this trade. We broke above the orb. It actually gave us our 3 points. This was 40.08, and we just made a high of 40.1150. So that was our little trade in gold. Let's chill out now. Let's see how it pulled right back. So we got our nice 2 points in gold. That was, let's see, $267 on that trade. So I grabbed a couple of contracts, took a point and 2 points.
Lift, more highs now, 22 plus on Lift.
All right, let's go to ES's. ES's might be a better short at the top of the orb, guys. We're going to hang out in ES's. I like the 60.27. Right, we have a fib up there at 60.27. I like that. So, all right, let's just relax now, guys and girls. Gold is kind of hanging. Futures are doing nothing. Let's look at Palantir. Let's see if it's setting up for a short somewhere. Previous day high in Palantir. Yeah, that level you mentioned, Ryan, like 190.32.
Yep.
Could be a little spot for a short.
Yeah, it's interesting too because this bounce pushed us up towards 190. Really couldn't even get ahead of the pre-market high that you just mentioned there. We'll keep an eye on that. Palantir.
Okay, NQ, guys and girls. Yeah, NQ is now, this is the NASDAQ 100 futures, guys and girls. We are testing those previous lows. We actually hit that again. We did a double bottom and rallied 25 points. So let's hang out. I like the short, guys, in the NQs, okay, on the trend and the top of the orb. That is 25,701, up 50 points from here. Let's put that out. So the NQs, guys and girls, the MNQs, are the NASDAQ 100 futures. So this is going to be your Apples, your NVIDIAs, all that stuff. And I'm curious to see, let's just get this out there, 25,697. 25,697.
Kathy mentioning NUAI, that went right to its pre-market high and pulled back. See if that holds VWAP.
Yeah, so you see when the NASDAQ, NVIDIA was all the way down here, that is what dragged the MNQs, the index for that, all the way down. So Palantir, NVIDIA, Apple, Qualcomm, all those things rally. This thing is going to rally too. But we're in the middle of nowhere's land. Done with the eval today. One trade in gold. Excellent. Qualcomm, buy the dip. Where do you want to buy the dip in Qualcomm? Buy the dip. I don't think buy the dip is a trading setup that we have.
David, I would like to get your opinion on the daily chart. Does it look like Qualcomm maybe wants to run up again to you?
Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't break this 30 EMA at that 171 level, I mean, this is all, just a big giant 5, 6, 7 day consolidation. So I would want it above all this. What is that like? Let's call it 183. If we can get strong above this 183 level and clear all that nonsense, then I think we could start heading to higher levels. But, we're all the way down at 177. I don't even know where we were. Let's see. Yeah, we're sitting in the middle of everything. I'm a buyer at 172. That's our 30 EMA.
Okay. Okay.
That's where I'd be a buyer. And we need to really clear the 180s to get rolling to the upside again.
Oh, look out. Albert's right. Beyond Meat. It's ripping here again on volume.
Oh, my God.
What do you think about that, Dave?
It's a lottery ticket. That's what it is, man. It's a lottery ticket. You buy. So I think I started buying this at like 220, and I added it 150, and I added it 140, and I just have a little bit that I'm never going to look at again, and hopefully it'll wake up one day and be $9 again.
Let me ask you, when you do stuff like that, do you put a sell order out there just in case it happens or something? Or do you just kind of sit on it and it is what it is?
I think my average is like 150. And I got a bunch of it. So yeah, if it went up to $2, I'd sell a little bit. But otherwise, I know my downside. So it is what it is. Like I said, it's a lottery ticket.
Priya here is asking, Dave, when you break out your orb, do you have it hit one of your levels?
When it breaks out of the orb or below the orb, chances are there aren't going to be any levels there. And if there are, and we've tested it, there it is, guys and girls. There is your ES breakdown of the orb. Okay? Everybody grab that one. So we tested the pivot point. We tested the pivot point. We tested the pivot point. We broke below the 5-minute orb. Okay? And that was at 11. 5 points that just paid, guys and girls. One contract is $250. 2 contracts is $500. That is a perfect breakdown of the orb ski. I mean, absolutely perfect. Cancel that. Cancel that.
Costco lower. Apple looks like it's flirting with the day lows. Amazon dipped out of the open. Netflix continuing to move down, maybe to that 1060 area that we've been looking at, maybe even 1,000. We'll see.
Ooh, I left. Did we have an order out in the ESs at 0450, guys? Yeah, I just got hit, but cancel it. I don't like anything right now, guys and girls. Everybody take a chill pill.
I actually don't like anything on our movers list either at the moment.
Yeah, this market's getting a little crusher dusher. I like the shorts. Let's leave all our shorts out there. I like gold at 39.90. I didn't get hit in the MES at 04, but I got hit in my Trade Evade accounts. So here's a question. This is what just happened, right, guys? We had an order out to buy the MESs at 64.04. Okay, check this out. It went to 64.0425. We missed that by 1 tick. Oh, well, cancel, next trade. And it would have went up. It went up 3 points from there. So this is what we're looking to do, guys and girls. We're looking to scalp a couple points here, scalp a couple points there. And trust me when I tell you, it adds up. It adds up. So we had that one losing trade in gold. And we had a couple of winning trades in our ESs and our MESs.
Real quick, Joe, those for ASST, those are Series A preferred stock. That's what that SATA is. And it looks like that's going to be at what? $10 per share?
NQs. Oh, yeah. NQ gave a far from moving average trade down there. But again, both of these things, guys and girls, okay? If we're scalping for a couple points, how do we avoid a loss that can wipe it all out? Stop orders, Andrew. Stop orders. Have a stop order on every single trade that you do. Period. End of story. Yeah, I mean, we got to learn all the rules and everything, Andrew. All that stuff's in the course, but we'll talk about it later today when everyone from Benzinga comes over today again, okay? We'll tell you exactly what your stop order should be depending on what product we are trading, right? All right, so now, guys and girls, it is 9:44. We're going to switch to our 15-minute orb, which will show us the 9:45 breakouts or breakdowns. And this we will leave up all day, the 9:45. So we'll go to 9:45. Oop, what happened?
Snap pulling, Oklo pulling. Barat, I know you're waiting for that Oklo break beneath 100. Maybe we do get that here today. Seeing a bunch of Tesla calls being swept up here as Tesla moves back to the highs. Pre-market highs here, 465. Your spot there, Tesla, TSLA.
Okay, now we have a 15-minute orb out. What I'd be looking for in the NQs, guys and girls, and we got below a 20 RSI. So I would be a short seller now at the top of the orb, okay? So below here, it could be a good short. And if it gets up to the top of the orb now, that's going to be a good short. So the top of our orb is 26,682, which is up 50 points from here. I love it.
Lion, good morning. It's no problem that you're late. I don't take attendance here, so no big deal. Amanda says, I sold Oklo puts. I think we curl here. It's Barat versus Amanda here today, folks. Let's go.
All right, let's go over all our orders and see if anything's realistic here. ES's.
Tesla new highs. That scalp is done. It's a nice move there off that option flow.
Okay, ES, guys, we're going to lower to the top of the orb, 68.21. Up 10 points from here.
Ooh, Tesla more. There we go.
Okay, top of the orb. Gold. I think we can get rid of our short for now and start simplifying things a little bit. We'll leave the 39.90, and we like the MNQs if we can get up there. Okay, we're chilling. One losing trade today, 2 winning trades. We're up a couple of banana skins, and we're chilling.
Dave, it looks like the market is trying to bounce here. I'm seeing it in some of the individual names. Apple's bouncing, Amazon's bouncing, Netflix is trying to bounce, Tesla bounced and bounced well. Even PayPal, which seems sick, is bouncing. Looks like the market is trying here. What do you think? Think this is a tradable bounce or just kind of?
I am looking to short if we get significant bounces from here. I want to be on the short side.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens from here. Yeah, let's look a couple of things. Wow, look at Tesla, guys.
Yeah, it's
again. So check out Tesla.
Unreal.
All right. Even if you're trading stocks, guys and girls, which we do, look at the breakout of the 945 orb. I'm telling you guys, this is a trade that you really have to pay attention to at 935 and 945. And we will get you guys, everybody who comes into the room, we'll explain this exactly. But we broke out at the top of the orb, okay, at 464. And again, it gave you a 1 and 2 points. The ATR is almost $2. So if I get $1 and $2 off that, that's the trade that you want to look for.
David, let me ask you a follow-up question here. Let's say you missed that initial trade. The stock is breaking out of the top of your orb there. If the stock back tests that top level, if it pulls back and holds that top level, do you consider that possible entry for another move higher? Here we go. It is testing that literally as we speak here.
If it spikes up there high enough above it, yes, then I will be at the top of the orb for a buy, right?
Okay.
So let's just take a look. The top of the orb was 464.65, okay? We did hit that, 464.65, and look at that. It just gave you $1 trade off the top of the orb. Spike up, spike down, but yeah, I mean, you could have grabbed $1 off it. And now, I'd be just sitting doing nothing now because it's going on both sides of that. So I would be taking a chill pill in basically everything that we're looking at right now. All right, the NQs are rallying strongly here. Let's take a look. Okay. Big green bar in the NQ. So I'm looking to short the top of the orb, which is 26,685. Is that where we are? Just about 26,685. And we want it fast. I want it to get to this level as quickly as possible. And again, we're doing the minis, taking it nice and easy for the opening. And if we get into this trade, I'd be looking to take, a quick 5-10 points out of it. And we're coming. Here we go. Let's see if we get it on this Papa Dopper.
I'm going to refresh Pro here real quick.
Now, here's the thing, guys. I always want my orders to hit as fast as possible. So I don't want a little pullback from here, right? We just got up to, let's see what we got up to. 73, right? And now we're pulling back 10 points from here. So here's the thing. This trade is not going to be as effective now because on that pop, if we would have got up to our 85, we're down 25 points already. Everybody see that? We missed the top of the orb trade. All right. And we just went down 30 points. 30 points. So we missed it. It is what it is. I'll leave it up there because now it's got to move up 40 points to get there. But you can see that the rally down, the rally down. That was it. I'm sure the ESs look like the same chart, right? Couldn't get to the top of the orb, and now we're just pushing right back down again. So that's why I was saying that I want to be short. I want to be short. It just missed our level. It is what it is. Gold 4011. Let's take a look. Now, I like 4014 better. It's up 10 points from here, but we're kind of sitting in the middle of nowhere's land in gold. The thing to gleam out of even the trades that we miss, guys and girls, is how good the technicals are if we would have gotten to those levels. And we just missed it.
This is basically just following your plan. If you miss it, you miss it. That's part of it.
100%. Now, because we spiked all the way up to 68, okay, a bottom of the orb test could work again. That would be down, 51, 65 points. So the bottom of the orb could work now. And I wanted to get there fast. What is it? 25, 588. And you see the NQ guys just had a 100-point move. That's why I'm not even a big proponent of trading this thing. You got to have, you know what, of steel to trade this thing. So it's not something I even trade. It's not worth it. There's no risk reward there. It's just not worth doing. Now, the ESs are trying to break the bottom of the orb. Let's see what happens there.
STGW, as mentioned here, this might be reversing off of that 65 EMA. We'll see if we get any type of upside move there. Tesla pulled back off that initial pull. It was a really good call there on wanting to be short.
So we're possibly breaking the bottom of the orb here now. So all bets are off, guys and girls. I am not doing anything. Take a chill pill. We'll look for far from moving average trades. Do not do anything.
NVIDIA puts coming through here. Palantir pulled off that spot that we talked about, David. Palantir literally just pulled right off that. RGTZ more highs. It means Rigetti's pulling back. Nice trade on that if you're playing any of those quantum inverse ETFs.
Wow, look at Palantir. So again, this could be a spot I'd definitely buy Palantir at the bottom of the orb. No question about it if we got there. Now, here's what just happened in the NQs. Okay. Completely broke down. There's your short, breaking the bottom of the orb again.
Beyond meat, more highs, David.
Okay. Guys, where do you like the ESs? 96? You guys like this at 96? I'm not opposed if you guys got a fib there. And it's a monthly level. All right. Let's do it small. So we have a monthly level coming up in the MESs at 67.96. 67.96. So we'll put it out small. See if we get that. Let's take a look at that. Oh, it's a monthly fib. Okay. I'm with you. All good. Oh, it's 953. We're going to give away a couple more accounts, Ryan.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
We're still kind of in a holding pattern here, right?
What, right?
We're still kind of in a holding pattern here, right? We don't have any like big setups or anything ready to go. I just want to make sure we do this at the right time.
Yeah,
here.
4 trades this morning, 1 loser, 3 winners.
Orb stands for opening range breakout.
Correct.
And you guys that are throwing numbers in the chat a little bit early, you're going to be disappointed. I'm picking a different number. Got to learn to follow instructions. If you're going to get stuff for free, got to learn how to follow instructions. So you guys can stop with the 3. I'll just wait a sec here, and we'll go ahead and do another number. No, I mean, this is how it goes. All right. All right. We're going to do 6. 6. Flood the chat with 6s, and we'll pick another 5 winners from the 6s. And if you type 3 and 6, I'm going to skip over you. Got to pay attention. We're having some fun, David. We always do around here.
And again, guys and girls, this is the wsgta.com@gmail.com. Do not email me. I can't give you the accounts.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start picking here. Here we go. First one, the email there is on the screen. So there you go. First one here. Ooh. This is Kelfa Studio. Kelfa, you are a winner here. Kelfa, you are our first winner. All right, let me select another one here. Everyone get a quick
point. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm going to select another one here. Frozen King, you are also a winner here. There you go. Be sure to email that address there. Let me go ahead and pick another one here real quick. Solomon Maziazi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. You are a winner here. 2 more real quick. 2 more here.
2, guys. We're out. Sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
It's okay. Kelly or 2. Kelly or 2. You are a winner here as well. All right. Next here. I'm going to scroll back up here. All right. Next here. Harvey Shadow. You are our final winner here with the 6. So, all right, producer, go ahead and throw those emails up there. Again, be sure to email wsgta.com@gmail.com. And if you would, please CC shows@benzinga.com. Really helpful. David, thanks for giving stuff away again.
Oh, my pleasure. And the last thing, because I know we're up against it here, just post my email one more time. You guys can absolutely come. I will start sending these emails out within 20 minutes and come hang out with us in the trading room. That is mine, dgreen927@yahoo.com.
Dave, before you get out of here, can we answer Izzy's question here? What are your thoughts on Netflix?
Let's take a look. All right, where were we? 1068. We were talking about this weeks back, Ryan, around this 1100 level. If I remember,
we were talking about it holding the 200. We broke beneath the 200. Yep. So I think what the group is asking about is where's the next possible buy spot? We had, I think, 1060 and then even down to 1,000.
Yeah, I got 1017 is my next.
Okay.
That is my 65 EMA on a daily chart.
Okay.
So 1017 is where I would be interested. Yes. Boom, chaka-laka-laka. All right, so our NQs now, guys and girls, are setting up for what we call a far from moving average trade. We are below a 20 RSI. We are almost 100 points from our closest moving average. So it is getting close to going to a 1-minute chart and looking for a reversal.
Really quickly here, Nick asking Ryan, did any of those winners hit the like before you gave out the prizes? Nick, this is a really good question. Here's the thing. I don't have any mechanism of filtering for only people that have hit the like. But now that you're mentioning this, I'm going to put the producers to work here and see if we can do that, because this coming in for free stuff and not hitting the thumbs up, that's no bueno at all. That's no bueno at all. David's out here pretending to be the new New York mayor, giving a whole bunch of stuff away for free. Got to be able to hit the like there. This is a really good idea, Nick. Producers, make your magic. Make your magic.
All right. This has been great, Ryan. I hope to see a bunch of you guys over in the trading room. I'll get to those emails in a few minutes.
David, always a pleasure here. We really appreciate all of the different levels, the insights, the trades, and of course, the free stuff that we give away as well. Really good stuff here. Peter's gone. All right. Have a good rest of your Thursday. Glad your electricity is back on, brother.
Thank you, Ryan. And listen, Benzinga Pro, guys and girls, if you are not subscribed to that, you absolutely should be. It is an invaluable resource. I have it. Half the people in my trading room have it. Get on top of it, guys and girls. It is the best in the business.
Appreciate you. David, have a great rest of your Thursday. Do me a favor, enjoy your weekend. I don't think I've ever asked you, do you have a football team you root for?
The New York Football Giants.
All right, it's you and me this weekend, baby. I'm a Bears fan. It's time to eat them up. We'll see what happens next week. David, enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, take care. That is David Green. Really good stuff. That is Futures Forward. That leaves room for 13. Let's bring him back on. 13, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? How's everybody? You know what? I'm having a pretty good morning here, just mostly trading RGTZ. This has been a great mover out of the gate. Did get some weakness in the pre-market, but it started to put in a bit of a inverse head and shoulders pattern. We are resolving that to the upside. This has been great. How are you doing this morning? How's everybody?
I'm doing really good. As I was saying goodbye. First of all, I was just giving away free stuff, which is always fun. But right when we said goodbye to David, I took a look over here. Palantir plummeting now. So any of you that are still in PLTZ, I don't know what your price is. Have a plan. We're getting a nice move here on volume at the highs of the day. Be sure to get some of that booked. Zach would like to know, 13, if you are really a Packers fan or if that is fake.
No, I am a Packers fan.
There you go, Zach. And I'll tell you something. This ought to say something about 13, his personality and his ability. He is 13 is a good friend of mine. He is someone who I look up to, and I am one of the biggest Bears fans you're ever going to meet. So if I can do it, it's good. 13 is good. We don't hold that Packers fandom against anybody, even Amanda.
Oh, of course not. Besides, I like it when our whole division's strong, which is it kind of is right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Let me tell you something. It's a lot more fun when every team is a threat and when there's just a couple of junkers at the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was the Bears last year. I fully admit it. They were easily the bottom dwellers last year. Not the case this year. Market continuing to pull here. SPY, Qs, Dow, all near the lows as we continue to pull. Any of you that are in shorts, good stuff here today.
Why would it be hard to see Packers games? I know what you're trying to do. Stage, this has been turning around over the past 15 minutes. It did recapture VWAP. It's trying to move back above some of these pre-market lows that we got following the impulse move that took us up to 889. Current resistance that I'm seeing right now is going to be at about that 680 area where we're getting rejected. So if we lose VWAP here, we might start to challenge this 65 EMA support.
Jay Harris says, Ryan took some Tesla puts. Thanks for letting me know when the pullback was. That was money. Jay Harris. I'll tell you what, that impulse move higher, it pretty much immediately got sold. At the same time, David was talking about, I want to be on the short side, bearish. Let's wait this out. Shortly after that, market took another leg down there. Good job on you. Good job on you to take that there. And Bharat saying, Palantir, wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Palantir continuing to pound the lows there. We are in no hurry to sell PLTZ. Okay, we're in no hurry because we have been selling it. As I had mentioned earlier, I think with these and 13, I'd love to get your opinion on this. With these inverse ETFs, to me, it seems, at least in my own trading here, I have more success when I'm kind of trading in and out of them, right? Adding when it's a little bit lower, you get a pop, maybe sell a little bit, book some gains, and keep that flow in here as opposed to waiting for the moonshot.
Well, when it comes to let's talk about Rigetti in particular, because that thing has gone on such an extended move that it really should be coming down. But you got these buyers that keep trying to, or these short squeezes that keep trying to push it back up. So yeah, I think it's a much safer way of going about it. Like yesterday, I was trading RGTZ and I didn't hold it into the close. Then we ended up dropping to some lower prints, especially in the pre-market this morning. It didn't feel like something I should be holding. There are some times where I will, if I think it's and here's the other thing. I watch RGTI a lot more than RGTZ because I think that's what I want to be focused on when I'm trading RGTZ, because that has been helpful with determining where I want to be in and where I want to be out. So it's a couple of things, really. And one of the things that's been working really well with RGTZ is just watching RGTI. The trade that worked for a couple of weeks was just loading up at the 20-day SMA whenever it was trying to get back above it. It was getting rejected there every time. Now the current area that I'm watching for load-ups is 38. That might be the new level. I'm not sure. It's only worked for 2 days. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the day. But watching RGTI has been much more helpful than just, keeping a track of RGTZ and just saying, oh, well, this looks good enough to hold. No, gotta watch the underlying.
Guys, we got some news here. Disney and Penn Entertainment dropping ESPN bet. Disney reportedly ends betting deal with Penn early, signs DraftKings as ESPN sports betting partner. ESPN bet didn't even last 2 years, folks. Oh my God. DraftKings up 2% here. What?
Sorry, I'm this excited because I haven't been following DraftKings, but it did exactly what I was hoping for. I don't think this is done with DraftKings. We probably get a short. Sorry for the big exciting wow.
I was going to say you just yelled at me.
I'm sorry. I've been saying, oh, this thing's going to go down to 30. We're going to get this this Head and Shoulders resolution. We are getting this big time. This resolution. I think DraftKings still.
All right, guys in the chat, calm the F down. I understand that this came out. This is the first time we've taken a look at DraftKings here. Yes, the news is from 8 a.m. earlier today. Relax. We're just getting to it. DraftKings also reports after hours here today.
Oh, beautiful.
Man, tough crowd today. Jeebus.
This is good news is the news good for them? I mean, it sounds like it is, but I got to be honest. I've got a bearish view on DraftKings because of what's that called?
The chart?
No. The type of betting it's call sheet, right?
Oh, the prediction markets.
Yes, prediction markets. Yes, sorry, I couldn't figure out the word. That's the concern I have over DraftKings. It seems like prediction markets are not only paying out better, but they're becoming more popular. I think that pulls a lot of business away from DraftKings. I made that mention a long time ago when this was still up in the 40s. Now we're under 30.
So I'm going to steel man your point because we actually got some data points on that from the Hood report yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? I'm looking through it here. Here's your quote. Robinhood Chief Financial Officer Jason Warnick said that the third quarter was another strong quarter of profitable growth and showed the company's diversification efforts with the prediction markets and Bitstamp each generating 100 million or more in annualized revenues.
Prediction markets are kicking sports betting markets' ass. When it comes to DraftKings, I would expect that this comes back up to 30, tries to get over it, and it might get rejected. Now, let's say that it does get over 30. If that happens, I think that it could get up to 32, and it's probably going to find some even stiffer resistance there. So that's what I'm looking at here with DraftKings. We are getting this Head and Shoulders pattern working really, really well. The next step I want to see, and this could still come down a little bit more before it rebounds. It could come down to about 26, 25 and a half. Before it does that back test of 30. But this is more or less the price action I'm looking for here. And now we have, the 50-day SMA crossing the 200-day SMA to the downside. It's been oscillating, so I don't know if I put a whole lot of weight on that, but it's still an indicator I'm looking at. This is just great to see this resolve. And if this continues the way I'm expecting it, we're probably going to end up going lower over time here with DraftKings. So we'll see. But this is good news I think this is good news for DraftKings. I don't think it's good enough news.
Really quickly here, the company also said, where is that? The prediction markets, this is from Robinhood CFO, prediction markets more than doubled from the second quarter to 2.3 billion in this quarter. So just to kind of steel man your point there about that, prediction markets clearly picking up here. DraftKings did roll over just as you said.
Yeah. That pattern was showing up pretty well. I'm just really happy to see it under 30 because the last time I looked at it, it was like around 33 or something like that. But this thing moved down real fast over the past couple of weeks. So good to see that this pattern is resolving.
Palantir tried a really quick bounce there and got deleted. No bounce for you. No bounce for you. Do any of the movers look good to you, 13?
I took a trade in STGW when it made that first move back up through the 65 EMA. I haven't touched it since. It wasn't a very big trade, and it didn't give me a whole lot. The trade for me has been RGTZ this morning.
Yeah. Gotcha. NVD, PLTZ, RGTZ. Those are your three inverse ETFs making the most moves today. I guess you could throw SOX S in there as well.
Getting asked about Bull. Bull, I'm more concerned about. I think we just tested the all-time low from April of this year. Earlier this week, I think is what happened. We're trying to reverse off of that, but it seems like Webull is a little bit behind when it comes. Not a little bit. It could be significantly behind when it comes to Hood. So it's not really a big comparison right now. They could be better, but they've got a lot of work to do. And Hood is just getting their fingers into everything. And I think one of the biggest things that they just talked about isn't yesterday. They're trying to get into home mortgages now, or is that something that they've been working on?
Are you talking about Hood?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that Sage mortgage thing.
Yeah,
we discussed that. We discussed that there really isn't a whole lot of benefit there. Really quickly before we move on here. PD Kate, I'm glad to see you here today. How did your full port FIG earnings play go yesterday? FIG initially traded higher to 48, has rolled over and gone red now at 43. Praying for you, brother or sister, whichever one it is.
So two movers from this morning that reported earnings, I think they were yesterday and this morning, Snap and DNUT. So been watching these as well. Snap actually had a nice reversal off of 810. DNUT is still trying to turn around. We're approaching VWAP. So if we get some more volume here to take us through VWAP and get it through some of this consolidation here from the pre-market, we could see that 450 level again. Just need to see that volume increase, but it's got a pretty decent setup. So just need that volume component.
PD Kate says, I traded out of it after hours for 44 and was flat. Then it shot up to 48. You know what, PD Kate? I'm just glad that you didn't take an L. I'm glad that you didn't take an L there. Snap crossing its VWAP here. We'll see if it can get above the 65 EMA. I've got that value at 854. 854 Snap.
So it looks like did Elf report earnings yesterday, because they are getting absolutely destroyed.
This morning, and they got crushed.
Really?
I think Barat was on that one too.
They reported this morning?
After hours. I'm sorry. No, I got it confused with something else. Thanks for correcting me.
No worries.
This looks like another move lower here after breaking yesterday's intraday lows.
Yeah,
Barat, what was your target down on Elf? I can't remember if you gave that. You might have. I might have just missed it.
I could see this going to 70. It might get a little bit of support on the way down, but 70 seems like that's a pretty good spot. We'll see.
You know, the other one that got smoked yesterday was Dash. This traded down out of the open, but differently, or not the same as FIG. This actually hasn't dipped below the impulse move yesterday. This actually took two legs down in the after hours post report. 192 going to be your next spot there.
Yeah, I would say maybe not yet with Dash. This looks like it still could come down to that 191 area that it fell to in the after hours. That's going to be, if it can't recapture, I would say 203.
Barat, that is a huge day. A 6 FIG trade on Elf.
Wow.
Ring the register for Barat is right. You'll get 2 on that. 6 FIG trades. Yeah, you'll get 2 on that. Nice job, Barat.
Oh, now we're getting Dash was starting to reject there just a moment ago. It just kind of looks like this is setting up to maybe go lower if it doesn't recapture that 203 area.
I think if it does roll over lower here, I think you do test that 192.
Snap up at the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. Get through
this. Did it take it out?
No, we're up at it right now. But if we do take it out, then that trend line that you talked about, I think you talked. No, we didn't. I drew a trend line here with Snap. If we
from the after hours high through the pre-market, got it.
Yeah. So if we take out the 65 EMA, that trend line is what I'd be looking for to Snap next.
Snap next. I see what you did there. LOL. Let's go.
STGW. This has turned around. It is starting to clear some of the levels that I gave. 670 was one of them. We're coming up to another one around 715. That'd be the next one I think needs to get taken out. Just need to see this volume expand. STGW.
Sam B. Film asking, can anyone tell me what happened to cause this market drop? Well, what happened was 13 had a really violent sneeze and the market just fell out of bed. So that's where we're at down here.
Yeah, and nobody said bless me. So
yeah, exactly. That's You got yourself to blame for that. 670, one of your next down spots here on SPY. Let me take a quick look at the bigger chart here, because we did talk a little bit about some of those key levels on SPY. We'll review them here, see where we're at real quick, just to kind of get you set for that. Looking at the time, we got plenty of time. We do have an all access, but we got plenty of time for that. Here's where we are on the SPY. 673 key level. We are basically right there. We will see if we get that. 670 was the low from the after hours, not yesterday, but the day before. This 673 and then 672.95 is your 20-day moving average. This level right in here gonna be key.
Seems like there's a bit of a flight to safety. You have sectors up that are up are utilities, energy, healthcare, industrials. You got a lot of the Max 7 down today. Microsoft, Amazon, and they're not down a whole lot, but they are down, enough. Oracle really down. You got a lot of infotech is down pretty heavily today.
First of all, Jay here mentioning nice dogma reference. I am going to punish myself. I'm going to remove 25 points from myself for missing the reference. What was the dogma reference? This is an extremely underrated flick. And if you're going to reference that movie, you're going to get massive bonus points.
I've watched Dogma a couple of times. I can't remember enough of the lines to make a reference. So if I made a reference, it might have been just, in the back of my head by accident. What was it that I said?
I don't. That's what I'm asking him. I didn't catch it either.
I've seen the movie a couple of times, but I just haven't watched
they
it
didn't.
enough.
They didn't bless him when he sneezed. Okay.
Oh, got you.
Okay, that's a good one. That was so general that I kind of missed it. Props to you, Amanda, and who was that? Jay. You guys both get bonus points. The points that I removed for myself, you get to have them.
We have 15 minutes left until we start to see volume leave this
You're
market.
a good person. You lived a good life, but you didn't say bless you when I sneezed. That's so good. Okay, I got to focus now. Let me get back to the main workspace here. Really good mention there. Palantir, more new lows here. PLTZ, HOD.
Yep, that's working. That's finally working, and it's still not really that elevated. We're still in the 6 handle, but we are getting up to 7, and we did print slightly higher than the high from yesterday, so we are getting there. Now, this thing really would have to come down for this to start to get to double digits. I don't know that we're going to get that. Let me see where it's at right now.
Never say never. Amanda says, yeah, but those points are all covered in Bears fan cooties. Amanda, you know you like it. Don't even lie to yourself. You know that you like it. Come on now.
It looks like Palantir is getting a little bit of support around 181, but I think we're going to have a visit of the 50-day SMA pretty soon.
Barat saying next stop 169 as one of those levels.
169 is much further away. As a matter of fact, that's not a bad spot because that is where support was being found when Palantir every time we lost 175. On days that we lost we really lost 175, not just tick beneath it. That would be like Friday, October 3rd, October 14th, October 22nd. We came down to that 170, 169 area and found support. And that was previously a resistance area too. So good area for support, but I think we might find it a little bit earlier because we are coming into the thick area of the consolidation from starting from September going all through October. That's going to be a bit of a demand zone. And I think the 50-day SMA might provide some support. Now, if it doesn't, then yes, I would be looking at that 175 and then 169 area. CoreWeave won't stop selling off. That's because that thing was way high. Let me see where it's at now. So we lost the 50-day SMA. We are coming down. It looks like $100 is going to be your next big support area. Maybe 105, but I think 100 is better. And it's kind of more or less been trading sideways since July. It seems like it really doesn't have the volume to go much higher than 150, but it doesn't really have the sellers to get much further beneath 85. So that's your range for the time being. Yeah, I'm not seeing much of a squeeze happening with DKNG. I still think this thing is going to go down. And there might be a bounce, like I was saying earlier, because that Disney news I think is positive for the company. But I think they're getting their lunch eaten by some of these other.
You know who's getting their lunch eaten is Elf. This thing's down 34% now. Elf, new lows here. Barat, what a trade, Barat.
Elf fell off the shelf, did it?
Elf is off the shelf right before Christmas. Take that. Spy did bounce off that 672.50. Let's call it 673. We had that outlined as the 20-day moving average.
Sorry if you're getting any background noise. I have folks working here.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a leaf blower going there, but it's all right.
That's it.
By the way, that's what's on my Christmas list for anyone that's interested. That Ego Power Blower, the cordless lithium-ion battery, the Ego Power one, that I want it so bad. That is going to be the best way to dry off cars that I wash and detail because they're all slick and it just blows the water right off. It's going to save me so much time. That's on my Christmas list.
My father-in-law bought me a DeWalt leaf blower for my birthday this year. I think
DeWalt stuff is awesome.
DeWalt's the best in my opinion.
Yeah, I've got a drill and a drill bit set that's DeWalt. I use that for everything, dude. Everything.
DeWalt drill set. I got a lot of batteries. The 18 volts, I think. That's the thing that kind of frustrates me is that like at a certain point they take a jump ahead in their battery packs. You go to 18 and 22, but still a great product.
Blessed Trader, one pro tip. If you're going to use a leaf blower to dry off the car, you need two things. Number one, you put a stubby tube on it so that it's easier to maneuver. And a lot of those stubby tubes have an option where you can buy a rubber part that goes over the end. So if you accidentally bump into the paint, you don't install any new scratches, squirrels, or marring. We call those love marks. You don't want to do that. So if you're going to go that route, there are a couple of things that you can do to upgrade that. Follow me on Twitter for more pro car detailing tips. LOL.
You see those videos of their spouses taping like a paint roller to their leaf blower and then putting a toilet paper roll on the end of it and just sending it?
No, but that sounds like a great Friday activity after half a bottle of wine.
Oh, my goodness. I'll have to send you a video later.
Yeah, please send me that video. Wiss is saying new golf irons are better than a leaf blower. I'll be honest I just got comfortable hitting my irons. I feel like if I upgraded them, I would intentionally be doing something stupid to myself.
I feel like that would take a long while to swing your club around to dry your car, though.
That's not what he meant. LOL. Oh, gosh, you guys are great. Lyft, by the way, we talked about this one earlier. This came back into the VWAP, consolidated, held, moving back towards the high. Watch 22 on Lyft.
All right, so STGW did get a pop up to 691. It's since come back in, still trying to hold above VWAP. It doesn't look like this is going to have a whole lot of strength. Maybe it goes sideways here, but I think there's better things that we could trade.
ASST, this thing had that notice there about its Series A preferred stock.
Dash has been recovering for the past 20 minutes, coming up to some resistance now. Looks like 205 to 207 could be a bit of a resistance area here for Dash.
Okay. Lion, we're doing both, man. We're multitasking around these parts. And Apple did spike to the high there, Tenzin. Well, I tell you what, I that's my own fault, Tenzin. I looked away from that. And you had that nice bounce off 268 right to 270. It consolidated there for about 10 minutes and then broke higher. Damn.
Rigetti looks like it's trying to turn around, so RGTZ may lose some levels here. It's been defending RGTZ has been defending $15 pretty well, but I think if we are going to get that turnaround, because it's starting to, the MACD is starting to show that the momentum has slowed and starting to keel over. So I think for now, I'm just going to sit on my hands with RGTZ and wait for this to come in at a lower price, probably under $15.
That's smart. Let me know what your entry price is for RGTZ if you have that figured out. Shady asking, Ryan, how many cars do you own? What is your favorite? I only own one car at a time. I don't have utility for more than one, so I try and save my money because I really want to upgrade my home. So I only own one car at a time. My favorite one that I own is the one that I currently own. It's the M550, the BMW M550. But my other favorite one was the one I built. I had a 98 Trans Am that I bought sight unseen off eBay and had it shipped from Texas, 13. Upon delivery, I immediately yanked out the engine, transmission, rebuilt it, and that car was a monster. And I mean a monster. I don't think a 22-year-old should have had such a powerful car, but you know what? I won a lot of money with that car. The opening of Fast and the Furious 2, that night, my most profitable night. The amount of ricers that got absolutely. We had one guy that tried to not pay. When my buddy who was following went off on the on-ramp, turned his car sideways, dragged the guy out of his car.
Jeez. Different times.
Different times, baby. Would never do that again.
All right, looking for something here. Looking for something that's Snap still holding above its VWAP. I don't know how much more it's gonna be able to give here. The volume's not great. We're almost at that time where volume does lead the market. Maybe Snap will go higher later on, but it is not able to get above the 65 EMA yet.
No, and it hasn't even challenged that trend line yet.
Donut or DNUT, I'm sorry, still up near the VWAP, but again, volume. If it gets the volume, then maybe it goes through it. But until that happens, it's probably going to get suppressed by it.
And Michelle, you're absolutely right. Corvette's one of my favorite cars of all time. At some point before I die, I will own a Corvette. At some point. Real quickly here, 13. Did you check out Marvell here today? Did you notice that Marvell it gave back some of its gains, which is unfortunate. But do you recall when we set up that scan to look for semiconductor stocks that hadn't run yet, and Marvell was at the top of our list?
Right.
That was in an 80 handle. It actually printed a high of 104 this morning.
That was a fantastic call.
That sure was. Sure was.
And I think that news that it's. I'm just seeing that they had news about. SoftBank taking over Marvell in order to merge with ARM. So it's a little bit of what we were saying, but this news catalyst, we are seeing so many takeovers right now. We've talked about this, about how this is kind of the environment for it. Let's see here. What's the I don't even know what the plan that they have here for taking over Marvell, or what price they were mentioning here, but Marvell stock at SAG this year, valuing the company around $80 billion. So SoftBank, Marvell, ARM. Interesting. How is ARM taking this news? ARM is down today. Didn't they report? Yeah, they reported, and they're down. Lots of so we got some hold ratings here. This is kind of interesting that would. Okay, so it looks like it did. No, that's just Marvell. That's interesting that would be the only one to move on that news. And meanwhile, ARM is going lower. I guess they don't like the combination.
Lion Atlas saying Marvell is still cheap. Lion, now the fact that this gave this back, knowing that this is kind of an underlying catalyst, do you like Marvell here in the low 90s? That would be for a swing too. That would be more for than just like a day trade. Zach says, I'm going to hop off before I lose my gains. Not going to fight you on discipline at all.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, because, man, this market, it's providing some tempting opportunities, but with the way the volume is, you could lose your shirt on this.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. So Lion, so you do like Marvell here for a long swing, low 90s. Okay. Lift, by the way, how are we doing with that 22 level? Up, still under it. Actually, we're starting to develop a trend line.
I'm just looking for something that's providing some kind of movement here. That's we've been looking at this morning. So Dash starting to reverse now.
This STGW, not great here.
The
Good
movers
job.
have been.
Good job getting a trade in there. But man, oh man, that one was not great.
It wasn't a very big trade, and it wasn't in there very long. Like I said, the better trades for me today have been with RGTZ.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat did pull back pretty hard after hitting 156. That's beneath its VWAP. Trying to get support from 135 might not hold up. TBT and TMV.
Want me to bring those up here?
Somebody was just, I mean, these are just let's see, treasuries and
Treasury ETF. Yeah.
PLTZ getting some support, so at around 650. So what's PLTR doing?
PLTR, it looks like it's trying to bounce, but it's struggling to clear out 184. I actually think that might fall and roll over here, especially if this bounce in the market, which looks like it's subsiding. If this rolls back over, there's more lows coming for PLTR.
I'd still like to see the 50-day SMA touch.
What value is that at again?
I've got that at 177.50.
Okay.
All right.
Still I don't know what your name is. My God, why can't I read that? I'm just going to call you Still. Still says, I owned a 93 Trans Am with 555 horse. You built that thing. Drove it from Alexandria to Virginia to Newcastle, Delaware, and made it in 55 minutes. That was another day. Yeah. I have a cannonball run record from going from where I lived when I was younger down to Bloomington, Indiana. It's a 4-hour drive or just under 4-hour drive. I did it in 3 hours and 2 minutes one time. We won't talk about it. It was on the 4th of July. There was literally nobody on the highway. And I left at like 9 o'clock in the morning, made it by lunch. My buddies were out in the back grill and they're like, how are you here so early? Don't ask. Don't ask.
I think my record, I don't even know if I want to call it that, is going to from Los Angeles to Houston, only stopping for fuel.
Yeah.
It was a tough drive. It's
how long is that drive?
Well, I was in a U-Haul. It took almost 24 hours.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But if you leave the right time, you can avoid a lot of traffic.
That's all what it's all about, man. All about. If you're going to be on the road for an extended period of time, the earlier you leave, the better it is. App, by the way, App gave up all of its gains and all of its pop from that earnings report. This came all the way back in basically to where it closed yesterday.
Okay, App 11. So it's down. Okay, so it got support down around where the 20 and 50 day SMAs are kind of converging. That's going to be support. If you lose that, then 550, 555 might be the next support area after that. Maybe 590, but I like 555.
Apple looks like it wants to take out 273 to the upside here.
Yeah, that's right, Corey. When you get to Texas, when you pass through El Paso, you're halfway there. Absolutely, that's the case. All right, RGTZ is still trying to push up. Current high is 1564. We're at 1551. LA to Tucson, it's only 4 hours. Sorry, I'm just looking for something that's providing some kind of trade here. Really, the only thing that looks good is
I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see anything.
RGTZ about to make a new high.
I'm still thinking Palantir ends up breaking the intraday lows and goes lower here. So still managing the Palantir short.
Jeremy Cornwell, the thing about how bizarre the Texas drive for me was getting through New Mexico. There was nothing to see when I was going through that small part of New Mexico.
So when I drove cross country, when I went through Nebraska, I literally saw tumbleweeds blow across the road, and I was like, "I'm in a cartoon. This is like literally what you see in a cartoon."
Yeah.
And I would see them for the first time in my life. I'm like, "That's a tumbleweed, a real one."
One horse town. See, Shady will get it done with the Cadillac. Absolutely.
Echo, as far as the taxes go, here's the thing. Number one, you definitely should consult a tax professional. You should not listen to any two yahoos on the internet that are not tax professionals and entrust your tax decisions with them. That I'm referencing 13 and I, but I also am including everyone else that's not a tax professional. Have one. A financial advisor and a tax professional have one. Definitely have one. What this is really going to come down to is, are you mark to market or not? And again, talk to a tax professional. Don't make the decision on your own. Also, you no need to spam in all caps. Do that again, we'll time you out. Tucson, you guys are talking about Tucson. Anyone been to the Tucson Gem Show ever? It is one of the most amazing things ever if you like rocks or gemstones.
Okay, RGTZ is making a dash for, looks like 16. It was a nice little move there.
Palantir approaching its lows, and Apple took out 273 right there. We'll see if it has some follow through on this move higher. Apple really strong here today. Netflix also bouncing off 1087.
Cost testing bounce to VWAP. Costco, where we at with that? Oh, look at this.
I grew up in Tucson and have seen the Gem Show. You are lucky. I worked it 3 years in a row. My rock collection pretty much all came from the Tucson Gem Show. I'm sorry, I'm nerding out.
Oh, we like rocks.
I love rocks.
Costco 905. That's been support in October. We're kind of testing the 909 area with today's price action and the price action we've had the end of October, beginning of this month. This is an area that is going to have to hold up, where I think I'm going to get my 875 wish here pretty soon with Costco.
Marvell looking like the selling might not be done here today. See if this ends up going red on the day. Still up by 1.45%, but that doesn't look great. NVIDIA at the lows. You know what? I haven't even really looked at NVIDIA. I know we were talking about Michael Burry being in pain from his Palantir NVIDIA short. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Here's NVIDIA, 191, 190 coming, it looks like. Apple should respect 271 if it's still bullish. That's your buy zone. Okay. So it's got to hold 271 if it has more upside, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more upside there's going to be with Apple. It's already pretty extended. RSI is over 70. Could, that doesn't mean it can't go higher. It certainly could. It seems like they've run into some issue with 277 though, and we're still fighting with a trend line. We'll see. I mean, it certainly could go higher, but I don't think there's a whole lot more altitude left with this before we need to have the RSI pull off, and that means we might see the price come in some more. RGTZ's new highs now.
Veggie Girl, that's cool, Ryan. My father-in-law used to make and cut rocks to make jewelry. Does he still do it? I bought one of the times I was there, I bought my mom a watermelon tourmaline stone that I then had made into a custom necklace. That went over really well, by the way. Pro tip.
My wife is really into tanzanite.
Tanzanite's one of my favorite stones, man. The blue and purples that you get out of that are absolutely incredible. That's actually the paint that I have on my car, Tanzanite blue.
Well, RGTZ is absolutely on a tear right now. Whew, buddy.
Lot of bearish stuff here. Hey, shout out to our entire group from top to bottom. 13, myself, the chat, David Green. Everyone here looked like they were kind of waiting for the short side here. Very, very conservative on the longs here today. Was looking for short positions. We told you about that. And that seems to be what's paying here. Also, anyone that took those Ondas 5 puts, hopefully those are working for you and offsetting the long stock that you're still holding.
So Rigetti, the stock, not the short ETF, this is approaching a support area Now we could end up falling right through this because this is, we've visited the support area many times, but we also could get some brief pullback before we make our way through it. That's going to be at about just under $35 here, down around looks like 34.50 ish. So watch for that area to really have a falling out or a reversal. I think maybe initially we might get a reversal, but I really want to see this spot get taken out today and get down to 34, where we were testing our sideways consolidation area from earlier this year.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, Veggie Girl, but that's cool that you still have those keepsakes. Izzy says, my wife is into yellow diamonds. Boy, are you lucky. This colored diamonds, you can actually get pretty good deals on those. Help me. Let me ask one of my guys about colored diamonds.
RGTZ has been my top earner for the past few weeks, says Corey Heath. That's great. I'm glad that that's worked out for you. It's been a great mover for me too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look, all you need is one thing that you can hit, and then you can kind of ignore a lot of this noise out there and just keep washing and repeating. New lows in the market drop, by the way. SPY, Qs, all rolling to new lows. Dow, not yet. Brian, with an interest. Brian, I love where you got the tinfoil hat here today. This sell-off makes me think people already know what's coming at 11.
The announcement of GLP-1 drugs getting reduced to 150. Isn't that what Trump's supposed to be announcing at one?
I thought he was supposed to make comments on the economy today.
Oh, okay. I thought that the big headline I saw yesterday was that tomorrow at 11, I think he truthed it out, that there'd be an announcement about weight loss drugs being reduced in most circumstances.
Yeah, I actually didn't. Yeah, Lily got hit on that, didn't it? That's been a great upside trade. That got hit on that. Jay, we're not leaving you out here. You're absolutely right on IONZ. I know we've been talking a lot about PLTZ and RGTZ. IONZ has been pretty much doing the exact same thing here. This is actually much cheaper too.
I think Ionic's probably a better company than RGTI. I don't think RGTI is a completely scammy company, but it's certainly not worth the valuation that it has right now. I don't think it's a box job or anything like that. I just don't think it's anywhere near the valuation that it has. Ionic might be a different story though. Can I give
everything
insight?
Selling off? Amazon pounding lows, Bitcoin new lows.
Shady's asking for insight on AFJK. This is sounding like it's a penny stock. We'll see. No, it's not. But it is pretty illiquid here because it has been a halter, it looks like, all morning. Let's see what the news is here. Business combination, huh? This is a acquisition company. I don't know what they're. So this is a SPAC. I don't know what they're merging with. And this is one of those things where you're going to have to go and read through their different forms, like the Form 8, to get an idea of what it is they're merging with, what the terms of that merger are, if there are any redemptions or any restricted units or anything like that. You'll get all that information if you read the forms. This one, I don't know what they're merging with, but apparently it's really got the attention of people that are interested in it because this thing is, gone on a really massive run beyond the $10 price that SPACs usually start at. So they must be picking up some kind of great company. Let's see if I can figure this out, what they're doing. Give me a second here. I'll look into this one.
I don't see anything great here. This is definitely one of those days. Just let things settle.
This might be
still going to manage the short trades that I'm in, though.
And this might take a little bit of time to figure this out. But it looks like United Hydrogen Group. I think that's the company they're merging with. United Hydrogen Group. So sounds like it's an energy company. Like I said, don't know enough about this one. You're going to have to just read through some of these forms and get an idea of what this is all about, who they're merging with, and even what the reason for the extension of the combination deadline was. So sorry I couldn't provide more on that. It's going to take some reading in order to understand exactly what AFJK is merging with.
Check it out. You gave up all of its earnings gains here today.
It certainly did. It certainly did, unfortunately. Still has that high short interest, though.
Yep.
Hey, no problem, Shady.
Barat, we all have our losers. Thankfully, your winners have been killing it, so you should be totally offset from that.
The best quantum company is Quantinum. So if anybody's looking to play that, the ticker is going to be HON, because that is something that Honeywell is doing, and they've got investments from NVIDIA, JP Morgan, and some other big names that I just can't think of off the top of my head. But now I don't know about that being the best quantum company, but that is the one that's getting that's one of them that's getting a lot of investment right now from some of the really big players. So I certainly think that it is an important name to keep an eye on. Ticker HON. Honeywell's the one that's the driving force behind Quantum. Then you also have CCCX, which is
that's right,
is merging with Inflection, and that's one that I'm keeping an eye on now. It's funny because I was looking into this yesterday, and before Citron even said anything, I was considering this, and I was like, this looks interesting around the $17 area. And then shortly after I started talking about myself looking into this, Citron puts a tweet out that sends this thing up to $19.
Gave that back here today, but yeah, that was really good timing.
Certainly. I mean, I wasn't able to take a trade on it because I was unfortunately late, but I'm still interested in what this might end up doing. NVIDIA is a partner of Inflection and a customer of Inflection, and they're working on Q2Q, and there's another platform that they're working on together for quantum. But basically, they're trying to integrate quantum with NVIDIA's AI angle and AI CUDA platform. So there could be some really big developments coming down the road with quantum, and I think we're just seeing some weakness from the pullback from all the hype.
All right, 5 minutes until we go to our all access here. Tesla at the lows. Boy, what a reversal on Tesla. Should have been looking at that for a short.
Microsoft under 500. This is going to present some buying opportunities for Microsoft. This is just a period where they see a downturn in their free cash flow. And this is something that happens with them toward the end of the year every year. Their free cash flow goes negative, but then it turns around and goes positive for the first 2 to 3 quarters of the next year. So, let Microsoft come in. I think it's going to be a buying opportunity. It can come down to, I think we were talking about it like around 445. Not a problem. This is still one of the best stocks, best companies in the world. They're getting some massive business from their Azure cloud, and they're heavily into the AI space now. They may not be the best in breed, but they are absolutely up there, in my opinion, the top 3.
And frankly, having a little air come out of this stock, probably not the worst thing in the world.
No, I don't think so either.
So I'm with you on that.
All right, so let's see what else we're getting here, because it seems like the market's really hammering a lot of these big names.
Yeah, it's still pulling here. So we are beneath that 20-day moving average, that 673 level that we talked about and bounced from. We've given that up. Next is going to be 670. That's going to be your after hours low from Tuesday. That's for the SPY, by the way.
Yeah, you know what, Jeremy? I had a tiny piece of NAT just as a marker position, and it's not. It's up, but I'm at my average price on this thing is 130. I'm just holding a tiny piece of this because I want to always have it out there as a reminder that this thing could really move as soon as they get that EPA veto lifted. That could be one of the big catalysts for NAK. So it's just something to watch for. It's very catalyst dependent, unfortunately. We check AMD. You know, we haven't looked at AMD today. How's that doing? Probably down with the rest. Oh yeah, certainly is. And this is, you know, the tech sector is needed to come in because it was getting really extended. But I still think that this is going to be just fine because there is still a big demand for compute. We're just seeing a downturn right now. We're going to see more of this data center build out happening over time. These companies will, still get more business. NVIDIA will get more business. Qualcomm will probably get some of that business too. There's just a demand for compute. Just like CGC, which one? Just like CG. If you're comparing CGC to NAC, I don't think that's the same thing at all. CGC is that's cannabis, right? So that's dependent.
Yep.
That's going to be dependent on what Congress does. The NAC situation is what's going to happen with the court system and this administration. So still at government levels, I think is what your point is, but it's different levels of government that are going to affect changes on these moves.
All right, 13. We are pretty much out of time. Any closing words for the group here?
Folks, this is this is a selling day for some of these high flying names. So if you are playing short ETFs, good luck and hopefully make some gains. I'm gonna just probably sit on my hands for a good portion of the day. It might be just at the time where you just need to put together a shopping list, maybe get ready to buy some things that look good. But until we see each other again, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day and take care. We'll see you tomorrow for Friday. Goodbye.
All right, really good stuff, 13. That is 13. We will be back at this again tomorrow. We're going to send it over to All Access right now. Stay green, stay safe, stay focused. Have a great rest of your day. We'll close the week out with you tomorrow.
Hey, Zingers, and welcome to All Access. I've got a wonderful guest for you today. It's Armando Benitez, the Chief Data Analytics Officer and Head of AI at BMO Capital Markets. He's joining us for an exclusive talk today. All Access starts right now. It's my pleasure to welcome in Armando Benitez, Chief Data and Analytics Officer and Head of AI at BMO Capital Markets. Really great to be with you today, Armando.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Very excited to be here.
Well, I know you'll be attending the upcoming Benzinga FinTech event in New York. What drew you to be involved this year, and what are you most excited about?
Yeah, well, one of the things I'm excited about is how the agenda is very well focused on AI and how that is going to help us deliver real world impact, not just ideas or tests. And the event is bringing together some of the best minds in the industry, experts from top companies, and we're going to be sharing real results of what's happening and learning from each other's experience. So, of course, I'll be excited to talk about everything that is happening on the AI space as it relates to finance, but I'm also looking to connect with some of the other executives in the space, fintech companies, data companies, all in one place. And my goal at the end of the day is to bring 2 or 3 practical ideas back to BMO and start using them right away.
I know your panel is going to touch on AI having a profound impact on the finance industry. What do you think makes this topic especially relevant right now?
Yeah, I mean, the space is evolving at an incredible rate. And from that perspective, AI is no longer just an experiment, but is making a real difference in our day-to-day, which,
topic especially relevant right now?
Yeah, I mean, the space is evolving at an incredible rate. And from that perspective, AI is no longer just an experiment. It's evolving at an incredible rate to bring 2 or 3 practical ideas back to BMO and start using them right away.
I know your panel is going to touch on AI having a profound impact on the finance industry. What do you think?
Thousands of rule-based routines, and that just makes it a great fit. Thousands of rule-based routines, and that just makes it a great fit for AI, making a huge difference with AI agents evolving the way they've been doing in the last year or so. So we've seen real progress in this space, and we're moving again from co-pilots, chat interfaces to AI agents owning the task and really making a huge difference. So And it's not only that, really, the whole ecosystem is evolving. The large language models capabilities are increasing at an incredible rate, and the whole ecosystem around them is also evolving.
Hey, Zingers,
at a
and
pace that
welcome
is
to All
allowing us
Access.
to
I've got a
build
wonderful
real
guest for you today. It's Armando Benitez, the Chief Data Analytics Officer and Head of AI at BMO Capital Markets.